to the face, yeah. She wanna stay. Singing to your bitch like I was Drake, yeah.
Don't just try to tell me you love me. Can't keep it real if you really don't trust me. Come with a real, you hip in the front, so you get my meals. I'm gunning for the money in the bank. Come with a dank, scrolling in the tank, rolling with the gang. You sick and I on the sideline tripping. I go to the hole with the rock like Pippin.
Yeah. I'm okay.
What's up, ya Utes? It's your boy Eazy, my guy Spinmo.
You don't leave your mas nowhere, fam.
No.
Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights there.
You're sick to my stomach, fam. Won't you smash the like button,
it's
eh?
your fucking dad back from the dead.
Can you believe that shit, buddy? That's an insane accent.
That is, yeah, the Alberta accent is...
I like to pride myself in accents. That's a hard one to get. But it's also got like a lingo in there, too.
Yeah, buddy.
It's more than an accent. Yeah, there's like...
I almost called the Rat Patrol on you. Yeah, it's fucking hockey talk and accent.
You even got any Steelies?
Yeah. Are you working, bud?
Yeah. The Toronto one with the girl talking. That's like the most wild. Like, she's speaking English, but she's not.
Ute? You go smoke that, Ute.
Yeah. You left your mom on the hood?
You're sick to my stomach,
You're
fam.
sick to my stomach.
Doesn't even make sense. Yeah.
Fucking.
Yeah, if that's really the business,
Yeah.
unless Shorty's just talking shit. Wild existence. It's weird because it kind of reminds me of like Jamaican like pigeon talk.
Jamaican me crazy.
And there's people that wanna marry her.
Are those the girls Drake's singing about?
Yes.
That's disgusting. Gotta be honest.
Those are the Toronto.
Gross, dude. No. I'd be too annoyed.
Yeah.
Unless everybody speaks like that there. You're cheesing, fam.
You're cheesing, fam.
I'm so cheesed. Canadian lingo is crazy.
It is. Very weird.
Tax them.
Tax them.
Tax them for talking
They
crazy.
talk right.
We ain't had none of that shit, all right? No, I was so intrigued by that video that you're scared to play. But it is on Spinny's Instagram. It's a perfect way to go.
It's the
way to go
funniest
follow
video
him.
I've ever seen.
I watched it 15 times.
Yeah.
I can't get over it. It's insane. It's an Alberta accent.
So funny, dude. Yeah, it's your dad back from the fucking dead.
I was so intrigued though that I went on YouTube. But I'm like, why do they talk like this?
I'm back, bitches.
And I guess there's the settlement up there was established by like the Irish and Scottish.
Yeah. Okay.
So it's like a mix of that. It makes a little bit of sense.
Makes sense, yeah.
You know, I could hear a little bit of that in there. I don't know. Dialects are crazy. Speaking of dialects, we'll be breaking down the Brad Holmes and knees today. My man wasn't crashing out because he's a mild-mannered guy. But in Brad Holmes' sense, he was kind of crashing out on the reporters. I think Brad Galley asked one more question about an edge rusher. He's like, same as a combine. Next. It was kind of awesome.
Yeah, he's pretty sick. I think he's sick of hearing about edge rushers and about getting Hutchinson help and about drafting an edge rusher in this draft.
What
if he doesn't do it?
That's what I'm saying, dude. It's feeling that way. Like he might not draft an edge rusher just because we won't shut the F up about it.
Take the fucking pick, Brad.
Are you cheesing, fam?
Yeah.
Drafting a guard, yo.
Somebody smoked that.
You fucking won't do it.
You fucking draft
Brad's fucking big.
Brad's a big dude.
I don't know which interview I was watching. I think it was the one with him and my man from the Vikings fan. I can't think of his Mike Florio. And he's talking. He's got like his short. Dude, his fucking vein in his forearm.
Yeah.
It was just like fucking like part of the interview. Like, hey, I'm here.
Veiny like a Snickers bar.
Yo, relax. Jeez. You're cheesing, fam. Speaking of crashing out, the University of Michigan is like a
Ryan eats Snickers bars upside
prestigious, like it's supposed to be smart, sophisticated people.
down. Ryan Lentz.
What violence?
I said Ryan eats Snickers bars upside down.
Come on, dude.
That was crazy.
That was wild.
I'm really blown. I can't smoke during EE, so I gotta power rip the fucking pen as soon as we get off the show.
You smoke during EE.
I mean, I don't know. I don't want Ryan to see me hitting it in the booth.
Ryan smokes. I'm joking.
Yeah, I don't think he does.
No, not anymore.
You're cheesing, fam.
I'm cheesing, fam. You got me. I'm so cheesed, fam.
I'm so
cheesed. Either way, I was trying to segue. Thanks for interrupting with a dick joke.
It's all good.
Dickheads, Michigan fans.
Yeah.
And it could be guys that all went to Michigan. I'm not 100% sure when you're going across social media, but majority of Michigan fans are Walmart Wolverines. They're like the worst. I hate to disrespect an entire city. I feel like they're all from Taylor, from Taylor, Michigan.
A lot of Taylor.
Yeah,
a lot of Taylorites.
Yeah, I just a lot of Taylor Tuckies in there.
A lot of Taylor Tuckies in there.
Because obviously we were cheesing fam about Bryce Underwood and his little "you're sick to your stomach" out there, and they're just fucking out there like mad as fuck.
Yeah, people can't take a joke.
We were joking, and then after the fucking 5 seconds of jokes, it's literally Nick hyping him up. Like it means nothing. And then following that, it's literally me saying Pat Mahomes dad bod, Tom Brady dad bod, freaking Ben Roethlisberger dad bod. Like, what are you guys mad about?
Yeah.
You know who thought it was funny? Bryce Underwood himself.
Yeah, he did.
So how about you guys fucking relax?
Yeah, I'm so cheese. Yeah, like relax. I know people that is what people do on social media is they read a headline.
Yes.
And they don't even listen to the take or listen to the video.
It's insane.
Or listen, you would be like, and I know everybody in the chat's going to be like, I don't do that. No, you're lying.
I do it.
The vast majority of people on social media do that. And it's kind of crazy, especially when it's like a 30 to 1 minute clip. Like you couldn't even take the time to listen to that one.
Or the generations
people just like to be angry and be offended about something, and they're so ready to take arms for everything that they just, I don't know. It's kind of sad.
It's the like button. Like people want to say like the snarky, funny thing. They want to dunk on you and look sweet in front of everybody.
Yeah.
Instead of having like a intelligent conversation or even watch the entirety of a clip. It's ridiculous.
I'm so cheese,
fam. Because even Bryce Underwood responded to it, laughed at it at first because it was on the social. It DM'd Woodward. Trav, for whatever reason, decided to make that a post. Make sure to get that down. And Trav, if you're in the back, come up here, man. Come talk, fam. I'm cheese. You did that, fam.
I'm cheese.
But at first I thought he was mad. I thought he was like, Bryce Underwood, because I would get it too, like. Because we deal with it on the internet, people talking shit all day. He's dealing with it on a way bigger platform than us.
Yeah.
Just because he's the fucking man.
We're fucking around, dude.
Clearly we're fucking around.
Like, if you're not... See, another thing...
I'm rooting for
the demographic of Michigan fans is also a lot of old men.
A lot of olds.
A lot of olds. A lot of old Taylorites.
Yeah.
So, like, I don't know... our generation, we fuck around and we talk shit, and it's like jokingly.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe you didn't do that. I don't know. I don't know. People just get mad very easily.
That was such a ridiculous thing to get mad about. They obviously did not check out what was going on in the video. I'm over here making a friendly joke about a freshman 15 and then continuing to say, obviously he has all summer to get, shredded. So all I care about is the arm talent, and I am not concerned whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
So anybody watching it that actually listened, it's like, what are we over here getting pissed about?
Mm-hmm.
I think Bryce Underwood's going to be a stud. I said that in our,
Me
yesterday.
too.
Everybody did.
Yeah.
So
I'm scared of Bryce Underwood.
Exactly. So everybody was getting on their fucking high horse, talking, heavyweight, talking about a heavyweight. It was just the most ridiculous.
Yeah, it's the point,
exactly.
That's the joke. What's the from I think it's from The Simpsons or Family Guy when it goes to Arnold Schwarzenegger and he's like, "That's the joke." Like, come on, guys. And that's where is it? Steve O'Baby says Michigan fans are sensitive. You know this.
They are, man.
They're very sensitive.
Ridiculous,
which doesn't make sense. Like, you guys just won a natty. Why are you so sensitive? I don't know. But whatever.
There he is, Fam.
Trav, fam. You're the one that opened up the DM from Bryce Underwood, fam. Wagwan, Trav Lila. Wagwan Trav, fam.
Wagwan Trav.
Was Bryce Underwood cheese, fam? Was he laughing out of his stomach, yo?
He was giggling, fam. He pulled up the shirt, showed his six-pack off. I thought it was just all jokes.
It was.
It is. It is, fam.
And he knows it was jokes. Like, we're calling an athlete fat.
Yeah.
Like, come on, guys. Yeah. How dare you? He's just a kid. Like,
the best quarterback in the country.
Yeah. That was the worst part. The people trying to make that. Like, what are you fucking doing?
Yeah.
Like,
it's they're very sensitive people.
Very stupid people. That's where I'm going with. I'm taking this. I mean, yeah. I guess emotions trick, get rid of logic.
So to go from emotionally abusing teenagers to physically abusing the elderly, George R. Martin can eat shit.
Well,
I just got to do this. I got to get on my soapbox here for a second.
Okay, fine.
Because this guy's a fucking turd, dude. Look, Chris, put up this tweet.
Put it up.
So he was in an interview recently, and if you don't know who George R. R. Martin is, he's the author of the Game of Thrones series. Okay. And he said that The Winds of Winter, being the newest book or the next book that's supposed to come out in the series, is the curse of his life. He said there's no doubt this book is 13 years late. Sometimes some things divert his attention, like a deadline for HBO shows. So he's trying to cast the blame off of HBO. We also responded to fans mocking him by saying, we got dire wolves before Winds of Winter, because there are real dire wolves now, but we're still waiting for this next book, and it's not even the last book of the series. There's supposedly another one after it. He says, you've heard exactly what role I play in the direwolf thing. That did not seriously imagine on the writing of Winds of Winter, but my more fanatic fans make it seem like if it's one or the other, and it's not. Listen, asshole, take a joke, first of all. Yeah, we literally got direwolves before Winds of Winter. We've been waiting for this book for so long. You had COVID. Like, that whole period of time where nobody was doing anything and people literally weren't allowed to leave their homes. And you didn't finish it then. I'm done with this guy, dude. I fucking hate George R. R. Martin. He is a piece of shit for this.
You're asking a rich guy to work, though.
Like, it's like, dude, fuck this guy, man. Oh, my God.
Spenny, I'm on the other side of this, dude.
Me
you're like Kylo Ren, dude. He's like, more!
13 years, Nick. It's not like the new one. The last book came out yesterday. It's been 13 years.
Mom, he's cheesed up. He's rich now. He's living the good life, Mom. You try telling a rich guy to go back to work. He's a god to man.
He gave us, there's like 7 sample chapters out there, and they're fucking sweet. Victorian rolling out with the Black Fleet, fucking Red Priest strapped to their mast, about to slit all their throats, and summon a crack.
Why don't you write the fucking book, Tom?
I could, at this point. Give me it now. Give me a script right now. I'll finish it. Dude, I'm going to piss
Maybe he didn't expect it to be as successful as it was. And he didn't have like anything else planned for it.
He's a turd, bro. He is a turd. And fuck that guy, dude. Like, literally, 13 years of this shit. He had I don't care about, this HBO it's been over for like 6 years. Oh, this and that, and this and that. You had COVID. There was a period of time where you literally couldn't leave your home. What else are you going to do? You're just looking at it. I am crashing out. Absolutely crashing out.
And it gets Skyogre in the Woodward Sports chat. Writing a novel isn't as easy as it looks.
Yeah, it does take 13 years. Turd.
Maybe it does.
Turd.
Don't you write a fucking novel?
Once he dies, I hope Brandon Sanderson takes it.
That's crazy. And who is that, by the way?
Brandon Sanderson is another great sci-fi fantasy author.
What if that's what the LeBron-Serena hybrid did? He just stopped going to sports. They just finished.
An author?
They just finished the George R. R. Martin.
That would be the greatest gift they could give the world. If George R. R. Martin's gonna croak soon. I think being realistic, looking at his weight, looking at his age, looking at his lifestyle, doesn't got 13 years left in him to finish this book and the next one.
He's just ripping rails off strippers.
Fuck, dude.
You're not getting that book, bud.
Like, if you're not gonna do, oh shit,
whoa,
protests.
Is there?
Speaking of this protest, it is a protest
it's
for the
fans.
teachers.
He's not fat. He's not fat.
Exactly. No, this is actually a protest for the teachers about getting defunded. Teresa is a part of this protest. She is not anywhere close, and her family pay teachers more. Straight up,
pay teachers.
Yeah,
more.
They deserve it. 100%. Teachers deserve more. Shout out Teresa.
People can't even fucking sit through a 60-second Instagram video.
Yeah.
To have a smart take, we do need to pay our teachers more.
Nowadays,
teachers need to be paid more for sure.
Yeah.
More than ever.
And now, bro, the kids are kind of fucked. Like, they can't keep attention for more than 30 seconds.
Stupid kids.
Should
have Mr. Beast fucking
make education videos?
Yeah. Make some education videos.
Yeah.
Fund the teachers, Mr. Beast. You can do it. You've done miracles before. You're curing blindness.
Maybe if you guys quit throwing them in jail every time I'm playing. Let's go to break on that.
Cheese and Fom.
Cheese and Fom. Do I even have it?
Oh, you mean when they're... Planet Fitness, the home of the judgment-free zone where we mean everybody can get a full-body workout in 30 minutes. All memberships include fitness training. You can get all that for just $15 a month, or upgrade to the Black Card and get use amenities like hydro massage, total body enhancement, and access to over 2,500 locations worldwide. Join in club or online at planetfitness.com. Planet Fitness, where your fitness is essential.
No one gives away more cash and prizes than Woodward Sports. You don't believe us? Here's our latest $10,000 winner.
You guys posted, hey, if you guess all this stuff right, we'll give it's $10,000. I'm like, okay, well, why the hell not?
And the winning doesn't stop there. How about our Outkick Your Coverage winner?
This guy's got a hot girl.
Bigger prizes, bigger giveaways, cash, merch, tickets, and more. All from the biggest sports network in Detroit. No one does it bigger and better than Woodward Sports. Make sure you're following, liking, subscribing on Instagram, Facebook, X, and YouTube for your chances to share in the winning. From Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports.
How do people feel about getting a Planet Fitness membership for $15 a month? How do they like working out in a clean and spacious gym that's filled with equipment for every workout? And how about free fitness training in the judgment-free zone that leaves them feeling energized all day long? Join Planet Fitness today with the free PF app, online or in club, and start getting that big fitness energy for $15 a month.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side. Woodward Sports.
If you are tired of your same old Detroit sports merch, head on over to woodwardsports.com. Get some gear for the Pistons playoff push, the Tigers season in full swing, and then also Red Wings and Lions as well. All teams, all seasons. Make sure you are tapping in with the best Detroit sports merch in the game. woodwardsports.com. Head to the website now and click that shop tab today. Merch.
The real beef is, for real, when you go to court, and I understand it to a certain extent, like people's lives are like, might crash out. Yeah. But the amount of security there is, like in the courthouse, to protect like 12 judges that are within the building. Oh, yeah. You know what I'm saying? Fuck, they're grown people, grown humans that could protect themselves. Let's get that security in the fucking schools. I feel like schools should be like that versus a fucking courthouse.
Yeah, there's like one
with grown adults.
There's normally like one cop.
And he's an old retired fuck.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And everyone,
OJ.
no one takes him serious.
Officer John, OJ.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Dude, I was a dick to OJ.
You talk to him about like drugs. Like no one takes those people,
Yeah.
Get that type of security in the schools.
Yeah.
Fuck the courthouses. Just my personal opinion.
Yeah.
They're adults. They can fend for themselves.
There is no reason that
protecting the crooked
adults
fucking
should be
judges.
more protected than children.
Yeah, no fucking reason. That's my beef, fam.
That's solid
Great
beef,
point.
fam.
Thanks, fam. But
also, I think
Ute.
Per average, courthouses see more dangerous people than schools.
Yeah.
So maybe
that's their logic.
Hence the more security.
But cut the budget in half, fam. And put
Smoke
them in the
that
schools,
budget.
Ute. Yeah.
Smoke that budget, fam.
Smoke that budget, Ute.
Dude, what about the best courtroom crash out video is that dude that dives over.
Yeah.
The guy hitting the fucking Troy Polamalu on the judge. Dude, that was wild.
Dude.
Who's the Michigan State linebacker that did that in the Rose Bowl?
Oh, Bola. Max Bola?
Yeah.
Bola.
Max Bola. That's right. Just fucking.
That was insane.
That's what my man pulled in the courthouse.
Yeah.
It was lit, fam. But speaking of crash outs, Brad was getting pretty close today during the press conference today, and shout out to the Lions for even doing this. For giving us
Kyle Ellsworth.
What?
It was not Max Bola. It was Kyle Ellsworth.
Oh damn! I do remember Max Bola from that run though. So
yeah, they always had a Bola.
That's true. Multiple brothers came through. But either way, Brad Holmes was pretty close to crashing out because he continued to get questions time after time about edge rushers, about trading up. And here's a little bit of the stuff that he had to say today. I want to react to it. I said two of them for this one, Chris.
Well, let me get your question out the way. What I won't do is what I've been saying.
The other ones where huh? Oh, well, yeah, I guess I did say crash out. But we could do that one first if you want to. I don't really care.
Then. I have them all named.
The ones the two I sent first.
All right. Let me pull that one up. All right,
you're
here we
fucking
go.
cheesing, fam.
Is there anything about your philosophy that I think lends itself to trading up instead of trading down?
I think it's kind of probably based on like just with the overall let's call it what the talent level is and how high the talent level is in each draft, and it's also relative to where we're picking. So I don't really go into it as like, man, I gotta trade up. But trading back is just how many of those players would be available, and how much less of a player could you be getting, or the players are going to be the same, and it looks like the more rational thing to get more assets. So, but it's case by case.
It's kind of what we've been talking about, Spinny, when it comes to the draft in general, but particularly when you're drafting the last 5 picks, like you're not guaranteed to get some of these top-tier talent guys. So it makes sense that you don't know what the fuck you're doing. In fact, Brad had a brilliant quote today. It was like, grab some popcorn, enjoy the show. Just sit back and relax. Because he doesn't even know what he's doing. It just depends who's there. It could be a trade up. It could be a trade back. That particular question, I don't know if you guys could hear it, he was being asked about moving up. He's like, we've moved up tons of times in the draft. He's like, yeah, when it made sense to. And it's exactly what I've been saying for the past 2 weeks. You got 14 guys with the first round grade, and the rest you kind of got categorized as like starters that could get in the second round. Okay, I'll trade back in that situation. Mm-hmm. But if I'm in a scenario like last year with Terrion Arnold, falls to 24, and I'm at 29, yeah, I'm going to move up and grab the last guy that I perceive as a first-round pick. Terrion wasn't supposed to be the 14 or 24. Mm-mm. He's supposed to go like top 15 picks, and he happened to fall. So, yeah, you moved up in that scenario. This year, I think they might move back, man.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about those top 30 visits and the guys they brought in, how they kind of covered all their bases. If they wanted to move up, depending on maybe a Shamar Stewart or Mikal Williams, if those guys fall, we talked about that 17 to 22 range being possibly somewhere Brad Holmes can pounce if he wants to get one of those guys. A Gray Zabel, same kind of deal, maybe move up for him. Maybe he's there at 28. And then obviously they interviewed a lot of second-round guys to potentially move back if that's there. So Brad's going to let this board fall how it falls. And like you said, obviously he had a different big board going into it last year, but you don't expect the 14 of the first 15 picks to be offensive players. So then you have a totally different board you have to work from, and that decides what you want to do. And he thought it was most advantageous to move up to get Terrion Arnold. So I'm kind of bought into the trade back. I think it just makes so much sense looking at their defensive line, what they want to be, looking at the pieces that they've talked to and the guys they brought in. And if you can get Kenneth Grant in the second round, dude, like,
shit,
you have to.
Even at 28, I would just fucking stand right there.
I would take him at 28.
Yeah, all day. Trav, we're not usually blessed with your presence, man. Where you at with the draft? I haven't spoke to you on this at all.
I haven't even really been like locked in fully, but I'm a fan of the trade back too, rather than trading up. Just getting more capital, getting more players. I mean, it's more advantageous for us right now, I think, rather than getting a guy at that 28 pick.
I'm with you on that one too.
I disagree with you guys wholeheartedly.
Let's go.
I really do. I just think, yeah. I mean, obviously, Brad Holmes is going to say this. This dude's playing chess. Everyone else playing checkers. Yeah, we're waiting for anything to happen. We're going to see how the board plays out. And when it happens, just like it did last year, he's going to pounce. He has a guy in mind who he's going to go attack and get, and there's no doubt about it. And he's not giving shit away. He's like, yeah, we love this draft a lot. We want to go up and get all these players. He's never going to say that. He is playing both sides. He has the record of playing the both sides, but I do wholeheartedly believe he loves the draft so much, and he will go up and prove it by going out and attacking that for that one guy in the past.
Go back as well, though.
He did with the Gibbs, but we've never seen him trade out of the first round.
Mm-hmm.
So I just don't think he goes home night one without picking a Detroit Lion. And I think he's willing to give up capital because he knows that this roster is more filled out.
But also, like, when I look at this roster and you hear him talk about the guys you got to pay, we all know all the guys that he has to pay when you look at Kirby Joseph and Brian Branch and Jahmyr Gibbs and Aiden Hutchinson and Sam Laporta and Jameson Williams and all these guys that are going to require top 5 at their position money. The roster's not that filled out. Like, you have, look at the defensive line. next year, not this season, but next season, you don't have a defensive end outside of Aiden Hutchinson on your team right now. You don't have a nose tackle outside of Broderick Martin on your team right now. So I believe that they want to fill out the roster and fill out those spots with contracts, and I don't think he's in the business of giving up a guy that he could get in the second or third round that's going to be a 4-year rookie deal and play an impact role for his team at a cheap spot that he can keep there while he's paying all of his superstars to go up and get another guy that you're going to have to make a decision on.
I think he's so confident in himself because he has the track record of doing so late. Wingo, Mahogany, Derek Barnes, Rodrigo. Houston was a big factor for one season. Those were all late-round picks that he's hit on that I do think, at the same way, I think he can hit on some of those late-round picks, and he has confidence hitting on some of those late-round picks to then fill out the roster for depth after going out and getting the starter to pair with Aiden Hutchinson.
But you can't promise. Here's my thing with though. You can't guarantee the starter is going to be available to you.
100%. I'm saying, but I have a feeling he just is in love with one of those guys that does fall.
Who would
and there's
you
just
trade
no one
up
in this
for?
draft, in my opinion, worth emptying the clip for.
That's what I want to know.
You know
what is the clip though? A third rounder?
More than a third rounder, Nick. I mean, you think one of the star guys?
What did they give up last year to get? What was it? What was Arnold?
Terrion fell 24.
24.
But that class was, in my opinion, it was in terms of like starters, was deeper than this year's. Like, how many stars you think realistically are in this class?
Yeah, who's the guy you have in mind that you would trade up for, that you think Brad Holmes would trade up for?
It's not about what I think at all.
Well,
who's
the guy?
I mean, I think Derek Harmon could be an absolute stud on this D-line for 5 years.
So you would trade up for him?
I would trade possibly a third rounder for him.
So you think Derek Harmon with 1 year production, 1 year playing at that way is worth that investment?
And you think Derek Harmon by himself is better than having Tyleik Williams and Tate Ratledge?
How long was Terrion Arnold started for? Wasn't it 1 year of production at Bama?
No, Terrion was good for like 2-3 years.
I don't know if he was a star at like that, like Harmon was. Check it out.
And Terrion was even a star like that. Terrion was very much a product or a project.
Terrion started 11 games as a freshman, and
I'm sticking to my guns that I think Brad's going up and drafting a guy. That's how I feel. That's how I've always felt. We have an aggressive GM when it comes to the draft, and I think he's going to stick to his guns.
I don't think if it's not Mikael Williams or Shamar Stewart getting past 15, I don't think there is a guy worth trading up for in this draft.
How about this, Fam? We do have Brad talking about trading back briefly. Do you want to go to break real quick and come back to that one?
Yeah, let's go to break. We'll come back to that. Nick, tell us about Feldman.
Feldman Chevrolet of Novi, Detroit's #1 Chevrolet dealer and the Chevrolet Dealer of the Year for 6 consecutive years. Get a 2025 Chevy Silverado 1500 Crew for just $199 a month. And you can also get a 2025 Chevy Equinox for only $249 a month. Come see George Hawes and his team at Feldman Chevrolet of Novi today.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids, all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
Has the best sports fans in the world. That's why they deserve the best sports coverage in the world. We are the Woodward Sports Network.
Nothing's more cheesing than a buddy's pizza, fam. Buddy's Pizza, lock in, Spenny. Buddy's Pizza created the category of the original Detroit-style pizza and has been serving it since 1946 with 22 locations in Michigan. There is always a Buddy's Pizza near you. Buddy's is a cornerstone of the city of Detroit, being here for 79 years, and is a dedicated community partner with notable partnerships with local organizations like Michigan Humane, Salvation Army, the Detroit Zoo, and more. Save 10% off your entire order using promo code 10MEAL. That's promo code the numbers 10 and then MEAL. Go find a location near you at buddiespizza.com.
Y'all fucking right. Welcome back to the show, Crodies.
You think Brad Holmes giving up a pick for one of these hosers, fam?
You're cheesing right now.
You're cheesing, brother.
I'm cheesing
my stomach, dude.
You boys are high on the trade back train from Brad Holmes, man. He's got you guys fooled. He's doing his job well.
There's just you can't. I'm waiting for you
like
to
I
even
said,
tell me the guy's going to be there.
I think that, okay, let's say they stay at 28 and get Kenneth Grant. And then as that third round pick, they use on Tate Ratledge. I think Kenneth Grant and Tate Ratledge is better than Derek Harmon. So I would not use that third round pick to trade up for Derek Harmon when I can get two guys I feel like are pretty close to, if not on the same level as Derek Harmon. The only guys that I would say are worth trading up for is if one of those top four edge rushers, being my top four edge rusher, being Abdul Carter, James Pierce, Mikael Williams, and Shamar Stewart. If one of those guys falls to 17 to 22, then I would pull the trigger. Other than that, no.
Yeah, I just feel like he has a way different board than any mock draft that we have freaking seen. We don't know what he has on grades for these defensive linemen. We have no idea.
We know he likes Shamar Stewart. We know he likes Shamar Stewart. We know he likes Mikael Williams.
Easy.
I do.
Either do you, Spencer. Either do I.
He's brought these guys in. We know the guys that he likes. We know the guys he's looking
yesterday
at.
was the last day for top 30 visits too, fam.
Yeah. He brought in Shamar Stewart. He brought in Mikael Williams. He brought in Tyleik Williams. He brought in Gray Zabel. He brought in Josiah
later
Stewart.
round guys,
He
fam.
might go up and get a guy, fam, that we're not even talking about in the first round, fam.
Yeah, you
thinking about Jack Campbell at 18?
He met with Jack Campbell. They
What,
had a
Jack
top 30
Campbell at
visit.
18? Everybody was shocked. I had your guys' reaction that went viral.
Yeah,
Everyone's
fam,
like,
but he
what the
met
fuck,
with Jack
fam?
Campbell, fam.
Yeah.
Fam, he was projected second round.
They
fam.
sat down and got to chopping it up, you ute.
They had him in the film room, fam.
Shorty's just talking
I'm
shit.
just saying,
Yeah,
I think
Shorty
that
doesn't know the biz. He's just talking.
This roster right now looks great on paper, but once you start signing these guys, these top cheddar guys, fam, you're gonna have to miss on an Anzalone and a DJ Reader and a guys like that. Those mid-tier contracts, you're not gonna be able to sign anymore. So when you sign Kirby Joseph and you sign Aiden Hutchinson, you're not gonna be able to re-sign DJ Reader and Alex Anzalone. So you're, just as an example, those two guys were both on the last year of their deal. I think that you're gonna miss out on guys like that. So you're gonna need those second, third round guys, fam, that come in on cheap deals and that can go out there and play, fam.
I feel more confident in him getting his guy to be a stud up top and him drafting late to fill in some of those roles. You just talked about a linebacker and a defensive tackle. I just talked about Wingo and a Rodriguez. Fill in, play the job, do it well for what you're getting paid to do.
You're building a case to trade back right now.
Yeah.
Fam,
More ammo at those shots, though.
Yeah.
Would you rather have
No
3
fan
shots at a
faves.
Wingo or just a once? And he's now Broderick Martin there, fam.
Well, I'm trading the third round pick and Broderick Martin to go up and get the stud, fam.
No,
The
fam.
Manu,
You're
fam. I'm
building
trading
a
the
case
third
with
rounder.
Rodriguez and Wingo's, fam. No fan faves. Is going back and get those sneakies.
Oh, fam, I am giving up the third rounder, dude. I'm tired of it.
What up, Motor City Patriot? Love you too, man.
I kind of want to skip to, because I feel like one of these clips, Brad's kind of talking to the Knicks of the world.
How do you do,
But he did
fellow
speak.
Cronies?
The Knicks of the world?
How do you
What?
do, fellow Crody?
What are we doing here? Am I getting put in?
That's how I'm gonna go when I go to Canada. That's how I'm gonna speak to him.
Yeah.
Hey, Crody.
Hey, Crody, how you doing? Hey,
What's going on,
season, family?
All right, let's go. Let's get this trade back clip in briefly, and then I kind of got Brad crashing out. And I love you, Nick. I'm not, but I think he's crashing out on the Utes of the world.
Guys.
The next
Utes,
one.
fam.
But go ahead and play the one about
Cheap.
trading back.
All right.
Players you think might be there that you'd like, and now you're getting close to me on the clock and they're still there. Is trading down an attractive thing because we're going to get one of the guys we were hoping to get, and we can pick up additional assets.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, if the compensation is right and it's reasonable and it makes sense, and like I said before, if we have the pool of players, that we have kind of relatively in the same bucket, then yeah, absolutely, that could be an option.
Right now,
I've been saying that for 2 weeks, fam.
The best possible fucking thing for the Detroit Lions on draft night is Jackson Dart sitting at 28. That is the best possible thing for the Detroit Lions on draft night.
Maybe.
Because that means somebody is more willing to trade up into the second round to get that quarterback on a rookie deal with a fifth-year option. And Jackson Dart, I like him. I think he's going to be a good player in the league. But if he falls to 28, there are going to be a lot of guys calling Brad Holmes saying, hey, we'll throw you a couple picks. We want to get that quarterback on a rookie contract.
Fine. Yeah, I'm hoping that's the case. I hope the NFL looks at Jackson Dart the way Spinney does, because I would love for that to happen.
Give
me the extra swings. It just makes sense. But that's everything I've been telling you guys for the past 2 weeks. I don't want to expound on it too much, but Nick, I guess what are your reaction to hearing Brad say it? That come out of his mouth.
Say it.
Say it.
Literally, I have no other reaction. This is what obviously he is going to say. We have heard this for multiple years now. This should be a surprise.
But he's not a GM talk kind of guy. He's going to tell it like it is, fam.
Fuck, I hopped that boy up.
2 years ago, they asked him why you feel like you're going to compete for division. Yeah, he said, I'm not ready to say that. No, I'm gonna nits it right now.
I'm gonna nits that right now, fam.
Dude. All right. I mean, you guys feel the way that you feel, and obviously there are a lot of talented
Nick, what
players
would you
in this
do
draft.
if he didn't walk away with an edge in the first 2 rounds?
I'd be okay, because he's going to go interior defensive line, because we need it. One of our guys broke his goddamn whole entire leg, and the other guy is on a 1-year contract.
I just picture Hutch holding his leg.
Yeah. Dear God!
He's holding
God, get an ice pack!
Yeah, we got Hutch in a league, gonna get an ice pack. We need a medic over here.
Yeah.
We need an interior defensive lineman. I'd be okay if he doesn't go edge. I think you draft a talented player to stuff in the middle of this defensive line, pair him with Hutch, pair him with Aleem when he gets healthy. Hopefully, Davenport's here for 17 games. Can't say he will. 7's a stretch for him. But if we're being serious, that's what they need.
I predicted it, fam. Brad's talking to the Knicks of the world in this next clip, because he's specifically speaking BPA versus needs, fam.
And he's talking pretty greasy there, fam.
Yeah.
Shout out to Dumbo Jumbo in the chat. He says, what the Sigma? Trade back, fam.
What the?
It's fair.
Right. Run the clip, fam.
Fuck this guy, fam.
I'm just curious about the BPA versus need conversation. When maybe a guy is...
I love need.
Let's say
you guys know me.
Is clearly a guy you evaluated very, very highly, but there's an overlap with a guy in your roster where it's tough to see how you get both of them on the field. Like, how do you handle that as an evaluator when that guy's the best player, but maybe can't help you in a meaningful way?
Yeah, and we've had those discussions. I think the interesting thing, Justin, is that, and this is where I not get annoyed, but this is why I sometimes don't understand the whole need thing, because when each season ends, it's going to be something else. Like, another player's contract's going to end. Another player, unfortunately, might be coming off an injury. And, like, it's going to be something different every single offseason. So if you're trying to chase what happened last season of, oh, man, this guy's contract's and if you're trying to chase, well, this guy got an injury, like, you're just kind of getting into a cycle that I think is a little bit dangerous to get into. So that's why I've been more of a, just get the best player, because even, like, look, we loved Raxter, and unfortunately he just wasn't as healthy, but so he wasn't able to help as much last year. But, like, we're real excited and looking forward to what he's going to be able to bring this year. So there is just, and I said before, there's just a level of patience that you just have to play. But when you start chasing need, it's like, well, that need might make sense for right now at this time. But what we make these picks for future investments. And I know we live in a society that everything is right now, boom, right now. And I understand it too, just from, when a player gets drafted and so much, fascination is made about the draft and, people are excited about it. People want to see it right now. And, they don't want to wait and be patient, but there's just patience. I mean, it's no different than when we made that massive jump to get Jameson Williams. He was coming off his injury. We knew maybe he could play a little bit late in the season, but weren't planning on it, So yeah, I just got to play the patient. But I'm just, I think you can get trouble chasing needs sometimes, and then you're dependent on a rookie that you do the best you can, but nobody has a crystal ball, So it could be a tough world to live in.
Brad's talking greasy to these bucketies who want to make these skittle picks now.
He used words like right now.
I don't know. It sounded right.
Did sound right. It sounded like
talking greasy to these bucketies, fam. I think he's going BPA, man.
Yeah.
He's going BPA, and if the pool's the same, he's moving back. Nick, that was directly to you.
Dude, he used words like right now and obsessed with like the moment. He was literally talking. He was translating to microwave pretty clearly.
Yeah, he was, honestly. You saying put down the microwave, turn on the coal stove.
It may not be an interior defensive line.
Get the smoker going.
Yeah, get the smoker. Fire up the smoker.
And you know what the smoker got? Broderick Martin.
That's a third round, fam.
All right.
Fam, you're not good. No. We're not going to call Broderick Martin when he got Jahmyr Gibbs, fucking Aiden Hudson.
He also said no one has a crystal ball. Not you.
Or you.
Either me. Yeah, I don't either. And that's okay.
I got the ball, fam.
Hey, Nick, the guy pointing the finger, there's 3 more pointing back at him, all right, bud?
He also said he does get annoyed not annoyed.
Yeah, you piss him off.
He does get annoyed. He does read his press clippings. Obviously, he's pissed that everybody wants a goddamn defensive lineman because everyone in the world knows that they need one. So it makes his job probably a little harder.
This guy, fam.
Probably a little harder, fam.
So you don't trust Brad?
Let Brad cook. I
cannot believe.
Whatever he wants to do, I am down for. When
you took the one bad draft pick he's made in 3 years.
I love you, fam, but you started that with Broderick Martin like you didn't fucking draft Jahmyr Gibbs. That was disrespectful, fam.
Yeah.
Like he's
Smoker
not
got him
better.
Brian
Branch, Sam Laporta.
Okay.
Smoker got him Brian Branch.
You started that with Broderick Martin like he's a bad draft pick.
Both of those guys played immediately.
The trade back?
It's not the trade back.
That's what the smoker is.
Stash. No, that's the draft and stash is the smoker. It's the wait. You don't get it right away. You gotta wait. It takes time. That's the B-Rod. It didn't work out. Manu, we'll see. Who else can be put in this? Vaki, I don't even know.
Terrion.
I guess J-Mo was a wait and see. J-Mo worked out. Ennis is. We'll wait and see.
Kirby
was definitely a drafted stash.
Kirby was playing rookie year.
He wasn't supposed to.
He wasn't supposed to.
Yeah.
I mean, he's clearly better than Tracy Jackson or
Tracy Walker.
Tracy Walker.
Borderline Pro Bowler.
Mm-hmm. Watch him out.
I'm cool with it. I'm down to if he does end up doing it. Ultimately, I'm here for it. Obviously, I'm not gonna bitch about the fucking guys that he
gets.
gets.
What if he goes offensive line in the first round?
He's fine.
I'll be
no,
okay.
I don't think he's fine with that.
If he trades up in the second and gets a fucking,
I'm telling you guys right now.
I think he's gonna trade up.
If you want him to sit there at 28 and make the pick, it might be a wide receiver.
It could be a wide receiver.
It could be anything.
Or it could be Malachi Starks.
Like honestly get the edge out of there, get the interior defensive lineman out of there. Whoever is the best player available on that board, projected to be best player too, not just like right now if I'm ready to go. Like guy who could see like J-Mo was a guy that took a little bit of time with, right? Like whoever's that type of player, that's gonna be the selection, and you better be ready for whatever. You better be ready to do some mental gymnastics and figure out what Brad was thinking when he made that pick, because it's going to be that way. That's what it was with Jahmyr Gibbs. By the way, it worked out. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is how the man approaches the draft. What? Who?
Nothing.
Shout out to Sawston, too, who's singing in there. Wagwan Heavies. What's it like in Woodward City?
Yeah. Brad's going to do what Brad's going to do.
Exactly. And we're just
I don't know. You're crashing out.
Yeah, I don't know. You're getting kind of pissy over it.
You guys were talking about it's a lock. He's going to trade back. And I'm like, it's just as a lock that he's going to trade up.
Is it?
I don't think so at all.
I think it is.
I don't think so at all.
I don't think so.
I think it's 33% chance he trades up, 33% chance he stays the same.
I think it's
33%
60% chance he trades back. No, I'm honestly.
See, that's what I'm saying. I think it's just as likely. That's the side I'm sticking to because I believe it.
I just don't. I cannot see Brad Holmes trading up for Derek Harmon. I can't.
Okay, it's not. It doesn't have to be Derek Harmon, the player. If it's a guy that he loves, maybe it's Walter Nolan. Maybe it's Mike Green who slips.
He's not trading up for Walter Nolan. Walter Nolan's going to be a top 10 pick. But if somebody slips,
exactly.
I see what you're doing there. But the guys that he's looking at, the slip prospects, I don't think Derek Harmon is one of those guys. I think, like I said, I think it's Shamar Stewart, Mikel Williams, and Gray Zabel. Those are the first round guys that he's interviewed. Maxwell Harrison, how would you feel if he stayed at 28 and drafted a cornerback? Because
you'd probably see a crash out.
He's probably going to be one of the best players on the board if he's there at 28.
Yeah, Shamar Revel,
Malachi Starks,
and that's what I'm saying. Like, trade back to grab those guys.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying. I'd rather have a second swing at a guy like that than just me be pissed off because you're forced to pick at 28 because you're at 28. But at the same time, the trade back.
But Nick's saying let Brad cook. Now, Nick, you can't crash out if Brad cooks.
Okay.
Because if Brad cooks,
all right, if he does go cornerback, I will.
I'll kill him.
The same way you guys crashed out after Jack Campbell.
Yeah,
I didn't crash out. I was in disbelief.
All right, let's roll the tape of that one.
Roll the tape. I didn't crash out.
I don't think you guys were like, oh, let Brad cook.
I was.
We'll
I
pull
think
the tape.
I was taken back for damn sure by Jahmyr Gibbs. I was taken back by both picks.
Yes, it was both two surprises.
But I don't know that I was pissed per se, just because.
So who's your surprise?
Brad.
There's not a surprise. Derek Harmon wouldn't be a surprise first round pick.
I'd be pissed if he takes a cornerback. I will tell you that straight up. I think 98%
I would too. I'd be a little
of the fan base would.
I would be pissed if he takes a corner.
Well, speaking of piss, we gotta go to break. We get back. Brad did get kind of pissy when the questions persisted.
Yeah, he crashed out a little
on
bit.
these knees.
He pulled the Nick.
Defensive ends.
I think Nick and Brad would party very well together. They have similar energies.
Yeah, and Nick used to be the plug, so maybe knows a guy.
Maybe he does.
You know, no longer.
This is leading into break.
It is
something.
Speaking of a plug, where do you go and get your stuff from, Nick?
Bloom Cannabis.
Wagwan.
The best dispo, one of them ever. Spring in the air in Michigan, and we are buzzing. 7.5 milligrams of real THC wrapped in bubbles, crafted with real fruit juice and no artificial sweeteners. They are big in flavor but low in calories and 100% hangover free. It's all bubbles with no trouble. Catch it in watermelon, cherry, strawberry, or try one of the two brand new flavors, raspberry lemonade and peach. Crack a can, take a sip, and catch a buzz. Available at any of Loom's 38 locations across Michigan. Use code WSN30 for 30% off your entire order, online or in store. Code WSN30 for 30% off your entire order. It's the best. Make sure you guys go check them out.
The boys of summer are ready to get back to the playoffs, and there's no better place to get your Tigers coverage than Woodward Sports. Join us all season long as we follow as our hometown Tigers claw and fight. Feel the roar with Woodward Sports.
Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer, is kicking off the game with the best prices on all cars, trucks, and SUVs, like this 2024 Silverado for just $296 a month, or this 2025 Equinox for as low as $371 a month. Our locations in Novi, Highland, New Hudson, Livonia, and Lansing means we have the perfect Chevy right in your backyard. Get the home team advantage every day at Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer.
Is that an octopus in your pants, or are you just happy to see me? See what I did there? Go Red Wings! From Octopi Experts, Woodward Sports.
Good sports fans, don't miss out on expert sports injury insights with Dr. Jeff Pierce of Michigan Sports and Spine. Join him every Tuesday on Big D Energy and Thursdays on Ermanni and Edwards with Maz, where he offers top-notch injury advice. Trust the guy that D-Mac trusts. Dr. Jeff Pierce is here to keep you in the game and performing at your best. For more information, visit him at MichiganSportsAndSpine.com or give him a call at 248-426-9944. Your country needs you to beat the Nazi menace.
War bonds.
War bonds. That evil Adolf Hitler. Dude, that shit was so funny, bro.
So this is the part where Brad Holmes begins to crash out because I don't know who asked the question specifically because obviously Brad's not going to tell you what he's going to do. But they asked him, okay, well, can you tell us what you're not going to do? Because we're very curious about the edge position. Kept pressing it multiple times. The edge position was asked. You can't tell us what you're going to do. Can you tell us what you're not going to do? And this is what Brad Holmes had to say.
Well, let me get your question out the way. What I won't do is what I've been saying that I won't do, that I know you guys get frustrated with me not doing, is looking at our depth charts, like names, black and white names, but no football being played or anything, looking at a depth charts and seeing a position and then saying, man, you got to get that position, but a player has to play that position. And so that's why I've always been saying, look, we want to get good players, because if you get a guy that can play a position and say, look, like, what was the question that you asked, Brad? The 50th time you asked pass rushers, like, well, you can draft a pass rusher every round. You could. It's easy. That's just like if a coach told me, man, we want a guy that's 6'4", 250. If we got a guy 6'4", 250, that's easy. You want a guy 6'4", 250? Yeah. I don't know if he's a good football player, but he'll be 6'4", 250. Where the same as, yeah, you can draft a defensive end. If the player playing defensive end is not what we feel is going to be the right guy to really contribute to our football team, then what are you guys going to write about that player? You guys, man, that's not working. So we're not going to reach on players just to fill a position. So that's what we won't do. But it's just, you said, like, you're always trying to figure out what we're going to do. I don't, like, when, like, a movie comes out, right? Like, I don't understand. When you go to see a movie, you don't know you've never seen the movie. That's the excitement. And so you're fine just watching the movie. And it is, whether the movie's good or bad, and then you can do that. But I don't understand why people can't just watch the draft. And it's like, all right, like, I don't know what's going to happen, but watch the draft and get your popcorn ready and enjoy it. You know what I mean?
Dropping bars for a guy that's known for like killing it in the draft. Just get your popcorn ready.
That was
and let me cook. That's fucking bar.
That was a notorious crash out for sure.
Like you asked, Brad,
looked at
for
Nick.
the 50th time about an edge rusher.
Yeah, he looked right in Nick's face and said, Nick, I don't care what you think we need. We're going to get the best fucking player imaginable. We're going to get the best guy, the best football player, and then we'll get him out there somehow. And then we'll get him out on the field somehow.
That's what I'm saying, man. Like, if it comes down to pick 28, that's what we've been saying for weeks now. Brad's not going to force the hand to draft his edge number 5 if his wide receiver 2 is there.
Absolutely.
And that's how you end up with a Matthew Golden. He drafts the best player available. Needs, I think he brought it up perfectly. It's a forever, never-ending
You're
chain
gonna
of
need
events.
something every year.
Every fucking year.
Every year you're going to need something.
And if you're just drafting a need, you're not drafting the best player available. You're just drafting a guy to fill a spot on your depth chart. And that's how it's a dangerous way to play. Because you may draft a guy that sucks. And you just wanted the position. So I'm going to draft the best player available because at some point that is going to become a need.
Yeah. And you know you're going to – and we've talked about how they like to get these guys on the field any way they can. They like to get their best players on the field any way they can, looking at Jack Campbell playing Sam snaps to start his career. He's not a Sam linebacker.
Nope.
And it's Raxter getting snaps at nickel. He's not a nickel cornerback.
Nope.
He's Sion Vaki playing running back, special teams, safety. Malcolm Rodriguez playing snaps at fullback. They like to draft good football players and then get them on the field any way possible because you never know what can happen. And I think Lions fans should respect that after what happened last year. You can look great at paper, look great at a spot, look good, boom, 10 injuries. What are you going to do now? You have different needs now. So, yeah, I understand. That's why I think he's going to trade back. And that's why I want him to trade back. Because that gives you more good football players to put in different places that you can adjust your picks around and then have the freedom to sign your studs. And then you know, okay, we have a guy for 4 years that can play interior defensive line or defensive end or somewhere else. Okay, we got this kid, Jihad Campbell, for 4 years who can rush the passer, play in coverage, and be a linebacker. We know we're going to need somebody at one of those spots eventually. So that's what he's getting to. And Yeah, that's why I think the trade back is way more of a reasonable scenario.
This I want to do like this for Nick. Last year, Detroit Lions stay healthy. Would you say they're a Super Bowl team?
Yeah, they were right there for sure.
And they're getting a lot of those pieces back, right?
Yeah, partly.
So you have a core. Who's missing?
Well, you don't know what Aleem looks like yet. You don't know what Davenport's gonna do when he's healthy.
But Davenport was a tricep injury. I think he'll be fine.
For how fucking long? Come on.
I mean, that's fair, but still, even with him out, they were still a very good defense for a few good weeks, right? Like they're a good team. I think between
they were a
Hutchinson,
good team.
Very great team. I'll go great.
They're 15-2, man.
Let me finish real quick though. Let me finish though,
Yeah,
because the caliber wise, just the nucleus of this team: Brian Branch, Kirby Joseph, Aiden Hutchinson, Jared Goff, Jahmyr Gibbs. You have like your star players.
Yes.
You're not out there reaching for another star. If you know this group of players can get you to Super Bowl caliber team success, the best way to keep that nucleus in place is to trade back and get those affordable contracts to suffice the starter pieces around them. And that we can afford the contracts that these guys are going to have to demand in the market. And by the way, they're worth those contracts because they're good fucking players. That's why you're going to keep these guys around. We're not in here searching for another star. It's just at pick 28, it's rare that's going to happen in the first place.
And I'm going to say one thing. We haven't gotten to the Super Bowl yet, first of all.
Correct.
That is one hump we need to get over. The second hump is actually winning it. When Patrick Mahomes has lost in the Super Bowl twice, what happened, fellas?
His offensive line fell apart.
The defensive line terrorized him. In both Super Bowls, they took over the game where Mahomes didn't look close to even half of what he looks like when he is upright all the time. Half of it. He looked brutal. The defensive lines took over that game where you beat an elite quarterback. We haven't even got to the Super Bowl yet. So we can talk about 15-2, and I love this team because obviously we're all thrilled. We came from the bottom, obviously. But there are expectations once we do get there. We got to win the goddamn thing.
Absolutely.
And to do that, you need to go after those elite quarterbacks. We have Broken Aleem coming back. I have faith he will finally get to shape when it is time to get into the playoffs and do so. We got Reeder, who's aging another year. Davenport, injury prone.
1 year.
Can't sack Pascal.
One year.
He can't sack the quarterback. You think about second rounders. I think about Pascal. I think about Levi. Two guys that haven't really panned out for a guy that you're taking in the second round. That's why I have more faith to get his guy that's going to produce more in the first round. That's all I'm saying. That's it.
That's what you want.
Yes.
That's what you want. But it's probably
And
not
that's
going
what
to
I
happen.
believe. That's what I believe. That's how you should do it to win a Super Bowl.
And by the way, this defensive line, this defense as a whole, was that terrorizing defense before the injuries. Like I understand we fell short, but we didn't fall short because the roster wasn't good enough. We fell short because the roster died on the way there.
Yeah, and you're 100% right, Nick. You need a good pass rush, and you need to get to the quarterback if you're going to win Super Bowl. And guys like Josh Pascal and guys like Levi Onwuzurike were not good enough coming down the stretch. And the Lions need to get pieces back. They need to get pieces that are going to rush the passer, especially late in the season, in the playoffs, and in the Super Bowl. They need guys who are going to sack the passer. Good thing they're getting a top 5 defensive end in the NFL back. Because I think Aiden Hutchinson being there is going to make a lot of people's lives a lot worse. And like Eazy said, you got your studs. They just can't die. And then you need to draft other pieces to supplement them.
You need to maintain them, too.
Yeah.
And those other pieces help supplement the starting pieces around them that you can afford to depart from. Starting with an example of the guard we lost this year in Kevin Zeitler. You know what I'm saying? Like, we got a rookie contract to fill that in. Christian Mahogany, boom.
And the Eagles' defensive line was elite in the Super Bowl as well, and it absolutely was. And they had a great rotation of guys that they bring in there, and they go out there and that attack the quarterback. But what was more important was them having 21 of 22 day one starters playing in that Super Bowl. That's the most important thing.
You need that depth to get there.
Yep.
Trading back gives you that.
But
the other thing I want to say, too.
And they have to hit on it. I've seen, like, in the chat, you're going to get the 5th best defensive lineman or 5th best defensive end. So you're going to get the 8th and the 9th and think that's going to get the job done and get you there?
Well, the gap between the 5th and the 5th best guy and the 8th best guy is very minimal.
There's not that big of a difference. When you after the top 4 edge rushers,
we don't know what his board looks like to us.
But I'm just saying boards in general though. Like when you get to like your 5th and 8th spots, like the difference is very minimal.
After the top 4 guys go to position, 5 through 7, 5 through 8, it's who's going to be better out of those guys. You can't really tell.
defensive line was Hutch a can't miss.
Yes.
Correct.
Absolutely.
Aline, phenomenal hit in the third.
Yes.
Phenomenal hit for Aline. Needs to get back healthy. Pascal and Levi, in my eyes, were misses. This is a spot where we have not seen Brad Holmes draft consistently in the second round for defensive line. Maybe that's a little bit in me that wants it to be a certain first-round guy. Maybe it's me a little bit gun-shy
and that's
when
what
it comes
I need to
down
know
to
the
it.
name. That's because, like, where they're drafting. Like, I gave you the 2 names that I think they should trade up for if it's available, and that's Mikael Williams and Shamar Stewart. If those guys aren't there, I'm not giving up a 3rd-round pick to go up and get my 6th defensive end when I could get my 8th right there. Why would I do that?
Well, the other thing, too, I think, like, even a bigger point, too, is, like, a rookie is never going to be that final piece. They're a rookie. Even as great as Aiden Hutchinson is, his rookie season only had 8 sacks, 9 sacks.
I think it was 9.5.
It's never going to be the final piece. I can't think of a Super Bowl team where that's been the scenario. Like, oh, just this rookie.
I mean, Cooper made a big play in the Super Bowl.
That completed everything. Like, no, it's never going to make that big of a swing for you. You know?
Chris made a good point. Cooper DeJean, pick 6, Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Game changer.
Stacked roster, though. You also had Saquon Barkley.
Cooper DeJean
was Cooper DeJean a bigger factor than Saquon Barkley?
No, but he was obviously a good piece.
He was not a bigger factor.
But it was the final piece. I'm saying it was the little.
You just said the defensive line is why they won, not Cooper DeJean.
They make Cooper DeJean better if you upgrade this D line. Kirby Joseph and
yeah,
Brian
so it's not Cooper
DeJean.
DeJean, it's the defensive line.
But they allow him to do that.
Yes, I know.
That's why they need this upgraded D line.
But we're talking about Cooper DeJean, right? We're talking about the rookie.
But when healthy, our defensive line was doing that. That's why our safeties led the league, each individually, #1 in the league in interceptions apiece.
Yeah.
Because that defensive line, when healthy, was causing chaos. And you're not always necessarily going to see it in the form of sacks. It comes pressures and forcing quarterbacks to make mistakes. I mean, football, that's why I look at Shamar Stewart and I see a valuable piece, because I'm not looking at a guy necessarily for sacks. I'm looking at a disruptor. I'm looking at a guy to fuck up a play. I'm looking at a guy to get in the quarterback's face or apply the pressure, force him to make some dumb mistake. And we have guys in the backfield to capitalize on that. Football disruption, I think actually, and I'll probably pull up the numbers. Maybe they did a shit ton of sacks. But the Eagles last year in the Super Bowl, I think, was more disruptive than they were actually getting to Mahomes and sacking him. I don't know the numbers off the top of my head, but I know what I watched. And I didn't really watch the second half, to be fair. And I'm pretty sure they put in the second strings anyway. But I don't know, man. A rookie's just never going to take you over the top.
I agree. I think you need Aleem to be healthy and Aiden Hutchinson to be healthy way more than you need a rookie to come in here and be that guy. So if Aiden Hutchinson and Aleem McNeil are healthy, you beat the Commanders.
Yeah, the Commanders, for sure. Eagles, it's probably a coin flip.
Coin flip, yeah.
Yeah. So my question to you guys, if they do go BPA, they go wide receiver and guard, first 2 rounds, where are you guys at with them?
I'm not happy. I never said I was.
Yeah,
I want to trade back.
I wouldn't be happy.
And
say in the second round, they go trade back, they go wide receiver, guard.
If they don't get an edge rusher or a defensive lineman in the first 2 rounds, I will be upset.
First 2 picks.
Yeah, and I don't we've all said that the entire time.
Eazy.
It's just realistically looking at what Brad's doing, I don't think he's going to trade up to get a guy, because I don't think there's that guy in this draft not named Abdul Carter.
Yeah, I don't think a singular rookie is going to be like the final grain of sand.
Yeah, and everybody in the chat and Nick, you're the rallying cry for it. Like, we need that stud to come in here immediately and be the reason we win the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Give me a name of somebody that you think will be that. I think Abdul Carter could be that. You're not trading up to get him. Do you think you trade up to get even a James Pierce or a Mike Green? Are they going to be the Super Bowl winning factor on your team next year? I don't think so. I think everybody outside of Abdul Carter is very similar in talent and skill-wise when you look at the defensive ends. That's why we talked about it. It's like last year's draft, but instead of quarterbacks, it's defensive ends. And so if you have the one guy that you think is no doubt a lock for Rookie of the Year, but somehow he's going to slip to 15 where Brad will realistically be able to trade up, you're living in fucking fantasy land, because that's not going to happen. You're not going to have this surefire Rookie of the Year, game-changing Super Bowl winning player that just slips to 15. Like, it's not going to work like that.
Can one of these guys beat a guy one-on-one to make a big play in the NFC Championship game?
Yeah.
Can Pascal right now?
Yeah.
I don't think so. And that's what
You don't think Pascal will be better than when he has Aiden Hutchinson on the opposite side of him?
Oh, he could be better. I don't think he's going to be better than any of these guys projected early second to late first.
Neither do I. That's why I want him to draft him.
Let's go. Good shit.
But to trade up,
same page.
But to trade up for one of those guys, I don't see it.
If he has a higher grade, if he has a first-round grade on one of these guys, and say he has a second-round grade or whatever it is on two of the other guys, I think he's going after the first-round guy that can make the difference. That's just how I feel. Obviously, we don't see eye to eye on it. But
for sure, I just don't think the guy's there. I just don't like. This is not that type of draft class. You know, to get that guy, you're going to have to move in like the top 15.
Yes,
unless
I
something
agree.
crazy happens. And I just in a situation where you have guys. You're talking about a guy that there's no crystal ball, right? There's no crystal ball to know that this guy is a certified superstar.
Yeah.
And I know I have certified superstars on my team right now, to the caliber of my team's considered a Super Bowl contender. Then I'm going to surround those guys, or my team at least, with rookie deals where I can afford to keep the certified superstars that I know are good right now.
And is this a make or break thing for you, Nick? Like, do you think if they go
wide receiver guard, I'll be fucking furious.
Do you think they won't win the Super Bowl next year if they don't get an elite pass rusher next to Aiden Hutchinson?
If they go into the season without Zadarius Smith, I will say, if they don't bring him back,
if they don't draft someone,
if they don't draft a guy in the first 2 rounds,
or re-sign Zadarius Smith,
or re-sign Zadarius Smith, I don't think they're winning the Super Bowl. Straight up. I don't.
You think if they do, they are, though?
I think it could. I think it increases the likelihood of them winning the Super Bowl.
I agree. But I don't think it's the make or break point. I don't think a rookie or Zadarius Smith will take the roster they have now and be like, you are for sure winning the Super Bowl. Or if they're not on it, be like, you don't have a chance of winning the Super Bowl.
Do you think
when healthy, they have one of the best rosters in football, and that's still true. I know Lions fans are scarred seeing what they saw at the end of the year because you had 22 guys on IR. But that's not what this roster is.
I got friends that cover in Tampa. I got friends that cover in New York. I got friends that cover in the draft specifically. I mean, it's Connor and Trevor.
Mm-hmm.
They do draft, like that's their job, right? They're draft analysts mainly. Obviously, they got secondary jobs too, just covering football in general. When I talk to them about the Detroit Lions in terms of like this draft class, that's one of the hardest teams to draft for because we have everything.
Yes,
there's not like. If you talk about a need for the Detroit Lions, it's a debatable topic.
There's
not one clear
there's
cut
not
need.
a glaring need.
Correct.
On the roster.
They're very fucking good.
You want depth, and like I said, it makes more sense to me to move back to get a defensive tackle and an edge rusher in the start of the second round because you don't have a high second round pick.
Yeah.
And so I would rather see them get a guy at 60 and then a guy at 37 or 39 or something like that and have a defensive tackle and an edge rusher for the next 4 years because all of those guys other than Aiden Hutchinson and Lee McNeil are on 1-year deals and Wingo and stuff like that. But pretty much everybody at nose tackle and everybody at the opposite pass rusher are on 1-year deals. So you get those guys, and the difference between Nick Scorton and Shamar Stewart
or Femi Ojulari
or Ojulari or any of Ozaraku, any of those guys is not worth another pick for me. It's not. I would rather have 2 guys of that in that pool, like Brad said, in that pool of talent. There are a couple guys that stand out. Other than that, man, it is a very even draft.
And by the way, I'm not opposed to trading up at all. This is like what I think is going to happen based on like the nucleus of our team right now. We have the guys we want to keep. We have the guys that are like, again, no crystal ball to know what that guy's going to be when you trade up for.
Yeah.
But you know you got a very good team right now. If you want to keep those guys around, you get to trade back, get some cheap-ass rookie contact.
I think Nick Scorton would be an amazing pick for the Detroit Lions. I do. You don't have to get him in the first round, but he has shown the ability to rush the passer, get to the passer, and sack the passer. He's got double-digit sack seasons in college. He is big. He plays the run well. He has shown he can play in multiple different systems because when he went from Purdue, where he had all of his sack numbers, and then he goes to Texas A&M, still leads that team in sacks, but it's not a regime where you get sacks, and he plays the run, and he's the body type they like, and you can move him around on the defensive line, and he wouldn't cost a first-round pick. I like Nick Scorton a lot.
Shout out to Dr. Clappiche. He says, I think defensive line is a glaring need. I don't think so at all. You have a great defensive line. Anything else is a luxury beyond that.
Yeah, I mean, defensive
even
line.
Even if Marcus Davenport goes down, Josh Pascal and Aiden Hutchinson, if Aiden Hutchinson's healthy, and Lee McNeil's healthy, DJ Reader's healthy, you have a very good defensive line.
I was going to say, I would say defensive line is a glaring need. If Ali McNeil never gets healthy, Aiden Hutchinson gets hurt again, and and Marcus Davenport gets hurt again.
But that's not the case.
But it's not the case.
It's a lot. They're luxuries.
Yeah.
Even and if it was a
there's
need,
a reason you won 15 games. Your roster's pretty good.
If it were a need, Brad would go. He would address it in free agency.
There's a reason you had 22 injuries and still won 15 games because your roster's really fucking good.
Prime example, right? If it's a need, Brad would address it in free agency.
Yes.
We lost our cornerback one in Carlton Davis. Where did Brad go spend money? Another cornerback one immediately right away.
Broderick Martin is not it. We needed a backup to replace or to get behind DJ Reader. What did Brad do? He went out there, he signed a nose tackle.
Yeah.
A good rotational nose tackle.
And even beyond, like, as a backup guy, the guy's going to start games for you and Roy Lopez, you know? Yeah.
That's what he says.
I think I'm a little scarred from some of the third rounders where I'm okay to get rid of it. He traded up for Manu, he traded up for Brad, he traded up for Hooker. Fourth round, he traded up for Vaki. And right now, I'm okay with getting rid of that third round pick. That's what I'm trying to say here. Clearly not crashing out anything. I'm okay getting rid of that third rounder.
Yeah.
I have faith that he can get a guy in the 4th or 5th or 6th, whatever. If we do desperately need to pay these players, let some guys walk and get rookie level contracts late, because I think he will hit in the 1st and he will hit in the 2nd. I believe he will if he trades that third rounder to go up.
Detroit Lions defense overall last year against the run finished 5th. Right, so defensive line, I can't say it's a need. Sacks, I'll pull it up during the break because we are well past it.
Not 5th, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, I agree.
Let's go to break. We'll come back.
We also lost fucking everybody.
Yeah.
And Nate Hutchinson was leading the league in pressures until half the season while he was hurt.
I think Lions fans are just clouded. They're scorned because they haven't seen this team on the field.
I think they just forget like last year's playoffs. That's not the team we're walking
saying.
the season.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Like Super Carrier is like a rookie won't make a difference. How about Jaden Daniels? How about fucking 4 turnovers from your quarterback alone?
Yeah.
Did Jaden Daniels force those turnovers?
No.
Take away those scoring opportunities for you for the top 3 scoring offense in the league?
I already told you that if we don't turn the ball over 5 times, you still beat the Commanders.
I believe that too, because guess what? You saw the Commanders go up against a good team that was actually healthy.
And they got schwacked.
They got fucking demolished.
Yeah.
Let's be real, guys. You're cheesing, fam.
Cheesing, fam.
All right, we're way past like 2 breaks.
Dr. Clappin Cheeks. Pass rush was terrible, Eazy. Yeah, because their
lost
$40 million a year pass rusher broke his leg.
And then your $20 million defensive tackle tore his ACL.
What are we doing here, guys?
You're cheesing.
You're
cheesing,
you are
fam.
literally cheesing, fam. People forgot about Aiden Hutchinson or something. Like, I don't know.
Mark White Jars.
So yeah, we'll do that. We'll catch back up.
Listen,
I got a plan.
Any rookies headed to Detroit for their first NFL job, there's only one man you need to see when you purchase your home in Detroit, and that's Mark White. Visit him at markwhitesales.com and save yourself up to $5,000 on the closing cost of your brand new home. That's markwhitesales.com, or dial him up direct. He's a Detroit Lions fan. He'd love to hear from you. 248-290-8242. That's 248-290-8242.
It's bear hunting season, and Dan Campbell is hungry for some kneecaps.
If you can just get a hold of them and you start dragging their ass out to the deep, dark abyss, you can drown them.
The Kings of the North are back for another year of the brand new Lions. Make sure you're locked in to Detroit's #1 sports network for all the news and info on your Detroit Lions.
Woodward Sports, let's go.
How do people feel about getting a Planet Fitness membership for $15 a month? How do they like working out in a clean and spacious gym that's filled with equipment for every workout? And how about free fitness training in the judgment-free zone that leaves them feeling energized all day long? Join Planet Fitness today with the free PF app, online or in club, and start getting that big fitness energy for $15 a month.
Congratulations to the real coach of the year, Motor City Dan Campbell.
Just put your head down and go to work. It's about to be fun, man. It's about to be fun.
Woodward Sports.
Jars Cannabis fam, if you're getting a little cheese right now, maybe hit them up. They can hook you up on the low skis. Unmatched variety, top shelf quality, price for the people fam. 27 locations across the great state of Michigan. Visit shopjars.com to find one near you, including ones in Grand Rapids, Madison Heights, and Milan, Michigan. Shopjars.com. Fam, I want to tell you something, fam. I thought we already addressed this, fam. Jahmyr Gibbs had more carries than Saquon Barkley at the halfway point of their playoff game against the Commanders.
Correct.
There was no discrepancy or just like with him getting carries.
No.
What happened was you turned the fucking ball over.
Yep.
and you lost scoring opportunities. You got the ball back with like 7 minutes to go. At that point, you're a fucking idiot for running the ball. Go back and watch that broadcast. Actually, matter of fact, go back and listen to the broadcast. The GOAT, Tom Brady, at the 7-minute mark of the fourth quarter, after their second turnover in the second half, if I'm not mistaken, tells you, now you can't run the ball. There's not enough time to. Yeah. You have to score. You have to catch up. You're down 3 scores right now. 2 scores at a time.
The reason they lost was because they turned the ball over 5 times.
Go watch Amon-Ra St. Brown on the coldest balls. Go watch him on turnovers. Go listen to Dan Campbell, for Christ's sakes. Turnovers. Like, what is wrong with you people?
I don't know.
I just, it's very simple.
I did Motor City Patriot. I did go to Centerline High.
Damn.
Cheese and foam.
Cheese and foam. We can do this right now on the camera, Brody. Brad Holmes, one more clip from him, talking about that need at edge rusher you guys want so bad. And this week, we got a little overzealous, a little excited because we saw Zadarius Smith with a bad team courtside for the Detroit Pistons. But Brad Holmes spoke about the Zadarius Smith situation today, and this is what he had to say.
Zadarius Smith recently at the Pistons game. Just wondering, since the annual meeting, have you had any more conversations with his agent or the player?
No, we haven't had any discussions since then. And, I think we kind of left it as, that, his agent would kind of let us know if something was, going on or, if anything had changed or if we had any updates. So, but no, we haven't had any discussions since annual meetings.
No discussions with Zadarius Smith since the meetings. The ball is in his agent's court. Essentially,
Our
it
balls
doesn't
are in
sound
your
like
court.
Zadarius Smith is coming back to the Detroit Lions.
We'll see after the draft.
We'll see after the draft.
Cheese and foam.
Cheese and foam. Nick, where you at with that one? Zadarius Smith need. Sorry. We switched back up. I could have went to Uncle T, but I didn't know if you wanted to be on mic or not.
Asking me, how about we ask the celebrity guest in the house? Come on, Fom.
Uncle Terrence Reginald Foster III, Esquire.
Hello. Hey, they clowning us. Zadarius Smith is going to be on the Lions roster this year.
Okay.
Guaranteed?
Guaranteed.
Okay.
Uncle T guaranteed.
You think it was Cashdoll that helped?
Huh?
Do you think Cashdoll helped?
You don't even know what that is.
Of course. Yes, I do.
Okay.
Stop it. I'm not that old.
Actually, I should have known.
Pro. They hung out with Cashdoll.
He growled with Cashdoll.
No, what did we talk about when they got Zadarius Smith? Man, wouldn't it look great if he was next to playing with Aiden Hutchinson? Now you're gonna sign him, but not play him with Aiden Hutchinson. No, that's going to happen.
Kind of has to, right?
Right.
I think him and Dad were the perfect splits for each other because.
Right. Complete the process.
Yes.
How do you feel about Brad Holmes kind of crashing out at the media? Did you see that where they were asking him about Edge and he was basically like, I don't want to hear you guys ask me about Edge anymore. I'm going to get the guy I get.
Yeah.
He's probably realized he made some mistakes, even though we're not allowed to say he made mistakes. But they should have had Edge help even before Aiden Hutchinson got injured. And so he's probably tired of hearing about it, probably realizes he should have done it. And so now he's like going to blame it on the media.
Yeah, I mean, it's like certain people in the media, on Halloween's Eve crashed out because he didn't go get that edge rusher 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Right.
And
big dumb idiots.
We were just big dumb idiots at the time.
Yeah.
Hey, man, they're saving that money for something.
Saving it for a rainy day.
I know, but here's what I hear. Lions have more cap space than anybody, but they don't have enough money to sign anybody. I don't know how that works.
Yeah. I don't know how it works either, too, because people are like, oh, we can't trade for this guy, can't trade for this guy. But they think we could re-sign everybody. It's like,
right.
Which one is it, guys?
Right.
Yeah.
And I understand, the players that they had, they did win 15 games. Mm-hmm. So I think they want to roll them back. But the thing that I've learned about in sports, you can't bring an entire team back because complacency sets in. And so you have to bring in some new pieces, fresh pieces, who want to win even more than these guys want to. So, I think Brad Holmes is feeling a little heat there. He realized he messed up, but he'll get through it.
Do you think he's going to move up for an edge rusher or a pass rusher?
You know what? He always does the opposite of what we think he's going to do. But I think I thought he was going to do it last year.
Yeah.
Cornerback.
Yeah.
So
you're saying he's going wide receiver?
Or linebacker. How about that?
I'm about to purposely think wide receiver then, so you can do the opposite.
Yeah, why don't you push that on your show?
Yeah.
Wide receiver, wide receiver,
Wide
wide
receiver.
receiver. And then if you're wrong, you're like, oh, so what?
I'll say I was right because I manifested it.
That's true.
Because I wanted it to be the opposite. So I'm
Right.
saying wide receiver, tight end. Yeah, give me a tight end, Brad. Let's go
Right.
with Colson Lovely.
Tight end and safety. Or safety.
We kind of do need a safety.
We do, but not in the first round.
Yeah.
They gotta get defensive
Dude,
line, right?
If you're talking about drafting on potential, Starks and
Fannin.
Warrior,
Oh yeah.
that might be picks. I don't know.
You know, yes, they need defensive line, but when you draft, see, I don't think Brad Holmes, from listening to this thing, he doesn't trust rookies. He'll get a defensive lineman, but he's still looking at this guy is helping them 2 or 3 years down the road, but he needs something today. That's why I said re-sign Zadarius Smith.
Yeah.
You don't have faith in Marcus Davenport, Terry?
No, I don't. I do not mention his name.
That's fair. That's fair. Can't have much faith in that guy.
My bad.
T, how about the Pistons, man? Who saw this coming?
Yeah, from 14 to 40 something. No, but I tell you what, I'm a little upset with some Piston fans today.
Okay.
And my old radio show that I used to be on, there was a whole bunch of Piston fans that, because Mike Valente thinks the Knicks are going to win this series, and they said, well, Mike, I would love for the Pistons to play the Knicks, but I don't think they can beat them. They can't beat them. But if you go around town and ask any Piston fan who's going to win this series, they're going to say the Pistons.
Yeah.
So why do fans go on his show, bitch out, and say, I don't know, I don't think they can win it. You're right, they can't win it. That pissed me off, man. Be strong.
They're being soft.
Yeah, they're being soft. We supposed to be the D. We tough, we strong, we don't give a fuck. Right? That's what we say.
Yeah.
But doesn't always play out that way.
Easy bet against the Pistons.
I did
bet
too.
against Spencer.
Easy?
I did as well.
Did. So did
Beat
he.
you out, but glad to take you out in the parking lot.
I think they're too young for the moment. I think next year they make that leap. Cade is obviously the guy in this series as a whole, like the best player. But if they double team him, who is? I don't have an answer for who our next guy is.
Well,
we don't have a Mark McGuire.
Here's what Cade
Rip
has
Hamilton.
to do. I think he has to be better than Cat. If he's better than Cat, the Pistons will win this series, and I think he will show that. Now, one or two things happen in a series like this. The Pistons haven't been in the playoffs for eons. One or two. One, it could be like, oh my God, guys, boy, the lights are really bright and we're scared and everything, and they play tight. That could happen.
Yes.
I'll admit that. Or they can say, we young, we too stupid to understand that this is a huge series, and they just play loose.
Nothing to lose.
Right, nothing to lose. And you know what? Did you hear the Knicks when they left here last week? Oh, they were like, oh, Pistons are really physical. Oh my God, that beef stew guy.
Yeah, I did see Cat.
They bitched out. So I think the Knicks are
soft.
Yes, they're
Yeah.
soft.
Yeah.
And they're looking for the refs to bail them out.
They will. 100%.
And they're not going to get all that in the playoffs. That whistle's going to be a little tighter.
I think New York, Brunson, Cat gets you those whistles.
Not all of them. Not the regular. They're not going to have the same whistles as the regular season.
Enough to do the job.
I don't think Cat gets a whistle, but Brunson will. Just because he's so undersized.
Sure
he saw he play. He tried.
Brunson's
going to
be in jail. Sar Thompson is going to put Brunson in jail.
When they mug Cade, is he going to get the whistle now? Because he's on the cover of Slam.
Man, that's a great question.
Best player in the
O'Neal
series.
even said, hey, I'm watching the Pistons now. So the Pistons have gotten a little bit of play. When Bickerstaff went off and said, you better pay attention to us, we in this league, respect us, I think that changed things a little bit.
Yeah.
But I think when they fought the Minnesota Timberwolves, that people are like, okay, all right, we see them. They over here, they're scrapping over here. So I think now people are paying attention to the Pistons, and they're not going to get the favorable whistle, but it might be just close enough where they don't get gang raped during the game.
So you got the Pistons winning then?
I think the Pistons going to win this in 6.
Wow.
Yeah, let's go, T-Foss.
Be at what's the name of the arena?
LCA.
LCA. Little Caesars
I
Arena.
keep wanting to call it Joe Louis. So go to the LCA for that Sunday game, afternoon, and let's party in the streets of Detroit. Let's have a Sunday slumber party.
Let's go.
They're going to beat the Knicks. I'm telling you.
Terry, if I told you 3 years ago that the Pistons would make the playoffs and the Red Wings wouldn't, would you believe me?
No, I said, Spenny, I love you, but you're on crack cocaine, my brother.
Crack cocaine.
What about the Red Wings?
You know what? For the very first time in my life, I've lost faith in Steve Yzerman.
Oh.
Wow.
I was convinced that he was going to come in, have this team in the playoffs in 4, maybe 5 years, but just hasn't happened. And I understand, yes, there's young players that are coming through here, but Steve Yzerman was hired to make the Red Wings good, not Grand Rapids. Right? Am I right about that?
Yeah.
So I think the thing that is holding him back is that there's no pressure on him. The Wings are like, this is our guy. This is our Jim Harbaugh, like Michigan had a few years ago. And we're not going to put pressure on him. We're not going to threaten to take his job away from him. He can take as much time as he wants because we know eventually it's going to work. But I think that helps you. You always need pressure on you. For instance, if I gave you an assignment and you say, T, what does it do? I'm like, just whatever, fellas.
I'm chilling.
You're going to fight around. You're going to be messing around with women, drinking your liquor, smoking cigarettes, having a good time. But if I say, hey, dude, I need this Monday, guess where your ass is going to be Sunday? You're going to be looking.
Doing that assignment.
And you're going to turn that assignment in.
Yeah.
And I think that's what we're seeing with Steve Yzerman. No pressure.
No deadline.
No deadline, no urgency.
Can I ask one more? I hate to hop back to the Pistons, but like, so let's say they do double Cade, and we do need a second guy to step up. Who is that for the Pistons in your mind?
Offensively, first of all, I think they're going to win this on defense, and obviously you need a second scorer. I like what what Durham is doing now, and Cade, if he's doubled, he will find Durham, doing his little thing, little alley oops, whatever they do, that little chemistry they have. So I think he can do that. Now, is he going to create his own shot? No. But Cade Cunningham, his job, at least what I was told when he came here, was to make other people better.
Yeah.
He's the Pistons' Magic Johnson.
Yeah.
So I like what Jalen Durham has done.
I got to be honest, I think that's the best answer I've gotten out of everybody so far. We had multiple people on the show, including our guys too. But I do actually like that Durham because he could pass out of the paint too.
He's very good at handling the ball at the top of the key. So, yeah, I like that as well. And Terry, to hit the
all four.
Yeah, I was gonna say trifecta, but it's 4. The Tigers. Look at. I know you were vocal about Riley Green last year, and he went out there and he made an All-Star game, and Flannel was trying to dunk on you, but
I know I thought Riley Green was a little overrated.
Yeah, this year he's one of his last 32 with 17 strikeouts.
He's the MLB.
It's a slump. That's not what he is.
Sample size.
But what do you think about the Tigers and Riley Green so
far? Well, they're different. The Tigers, I think, are even though the record is not great, it's a good record.
Yeah.
I'm pleasantly surprised. I was impressed with them when they lost the 3 games to the Dodgers. Because the Dodgers at that time were just trucking people.
Yeah.
And so the Tigers made them sweat at least. So it made me believe that there was something good coming here. They won like 3 series in a row. They lost the last 2 against Milwaukee. But now they're home. And I'm impressed with them.
I am too, especially the offense. That wasn't supposed to be the thing. I have one last question before we go to break. The chat saying you called Broder a fruit. Is it true or false?
I called Broder a fruit?
Yeah.
That is true. And not just a fruit, but a worm boy.
That's terrible. He used to call my boy Darius Worm Boy because he ate a worm for $10.
Yeah.
What the
I'm
fuck?
bad sometimes.
He also ate a caterpillar for $15, one of the fuzzy ones.
I think that's why those fans call in. They back down.
Shut up and take my money.
Messed up
when they call in.
Yeah, I know. But you know what? Have some backbone.
I'm with you.
Because we always talk about how bad we are. We always talk about how, we'll kick your ass. This is Detroit. We make fun of Milwaukee. We make fun of Pittsburgh. We make fun of other cities. And then we back down like that, the Pistons are going to win this series. Piston fans, even if they don't win it, most Piston fans, I would say 80% believe the Pistons are going to win this series. And then you go on that show and you start going, womp, 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 womp. I don't like that. Be a man anywhere.
I got another one. Let's just go over. I don't care.
Hey, you know what I'm surprised about?
What?
I'm on your show. I've been on here for, 15 minutes?
Yeah.
No one-legged strippers.
No one-legged strippers.
What's going on? You guys slipping up a little bit?
The tariffs.
Okay.
The tariffs are,
Tariffs, yeah.
Economy's a little different now.
Yeah. Terry, I forgot what I was going to ask.
All right, then. It's got to be a stripper story.
It was the one-legged
stripper. Oh, did you see Bryce Underwood's fat? The quarterback for Michigan?
Yes.
How do you feel about that?
That he's fat?
Yeah. Did you see him fat? He's fat now.
You want to pull up the picture, Chris?
Yeah. Let me find it.
Here, let me just say this.
That was my question.
I saw him a few weeks ago at the end of the season, and I just know this. They wouldn't let my man pass.
Yeah.
In his, I saw him play Howell, and he did not look fat then. And I was like, man, this dude is a gazelle. But for whatever reason, they wouldn't let him pass.
I remembered what I was going to ask you. So
we do have fat picture. Fat Bryce right here.
Yeah, here's Fat Bryce.
Here's Fat Bryce.
Everybody chill.
Big Bryce.
Big belly Bryce.
Big bone, man.
Can I be honest there? I like it.
Yeah.
I think Ben Roethlisberger, Patrick Mahomes,
the fat guy.
Hey, you know what?
I'm rooting for the fats.
He must have.
I am a
Hey,
fan.
Hey, you know what? I think
Big
Bryce
butts.
Underwood has an NIL deal with
Big boy.
the Fat Burger place. No.
Oh,
Ann
Blimpie
Arbor's got
Burger.
Blimpie Burger.
Yeah. That's good.
That's
good
what
stuff.
it is.
You got to order it right, or
Is it Uncle Jim's Blimpie Burger, whatever that is?
Yeah.
We talked about it on our show yesterday, and they clipped it and they put it on Instagram, and the Michigan fans were killing us. You know who laughed at it?
You know what? Michigan fans are always upset.
I agree.
They're very soft
I agree.
people.
And I've had this conversation with Braylon that he's always said, your teammate, you're always against Michigan. I said, no. I said, I just don't buy the Michigan narrative all the time. Now
Yeah.
I'll fall for about half the time,
The big
but that's
blue
not
wall.
good enough. You got to fall for their BS 99% of the time for them to like you.
Yep. Yeah, if you say one thing bad about them,
They're crashing out.
you're off the reservation.
You know who laughed at us calling him fat? Bryce Underwood. All those fans, crying about it. He sent in a video to our social media team, him laughing. And I guess he's a six-pack. He showed off a
I
six-pack.
tell you
too.
who will turn on him with his fat ass. If he starts running a 5.140,
Yeah.
the Michigan fans
fans,
who are mad
for
at
sure.
you will get on his case.
For sure.
I 1,000,000% agree to that.
And then when he transferred to Iowa, they said, we don't want him anyway.
Oregon.
Terry, I saw Isaiah Thomas come out and talk about this Pistons team, and he dubbed it. He said the bad boys have returned. And that was the big quote that he put out there. The Pistons put it out there. He commented on it. He said, let it be known. How do you feel about that? Like, obviously they're not the bad boys win championships. You got to win a championship to be at that elk. But that's Isaiah Thomas coming out there and saying that.
He said that I'm going to disagree with Zeke.
Yeah.
I don't think this Piston team are the bad boys. Maybe
They're the
modern
bad
day
boys.
bad boys, but I tell you what, don't mess with them.
Yeah.
Don't mess with them because you're going to be in for a world of hurt. But I don't think they're going to come at you like the bad boy Pistons did, because they attack first and then ask questions later. I think this team is like, if you don't mess with me, I'm not going to mess with you.
That's fair.
But if you're going to shove me, we shoving back.
I asked this question to a Pistons guest yesterday. I know my answer personally, but who wins in a fight, Isaiah Stewart now or prime Ben Wallace? Fist fight.
Ben Wallace. Ben Wallace was
He's a bad boy.
bad boy, yeah. And he was strong.
He lives right around here somewhere.
Yeah, I
He
think
hangs out over.
I see him at that gas
At the
station
spot, Rose
multiple
Room.
times.
I think the thing that's going to hurt Isaiah Stewart in a fight against Ben Wallace, he got a big ass juicy booty. And I think bottom line is he'll be a little off balance. Ben will leverage him, put him away, and it'll be a good fight. But I think Ben takes care.
Did
of
you
him.
hear Isaiah Stewart's new song that came out?
I did not.
He did like a reggae rap
I
song.
actually like it.
Oh wow.
Afro rap is what it's called.
Then
right?
if you
Like
like it,
that
I got to
genre?
listen to it.
I think it's reggae. I don't know.
No, it's like reggae rap.
Yeah. It sounds like reggae to me. All right, what if I threw Rick Mahorn in there as a triple threat?
Rick Mahorn against Isaiah Stewart?
Rick Mahorn, Isaiah Stewart, and Ben Wallace.
3 of them walk into a room, only one
Lock
can
them
come
in a
out.
UFC cage.
Only one walks out?
Only one walks out.
Ben Wallace.
I
think he'll take care of both of them.
I think so too.
Rick,
I agree. He's like cartoonish.
No, Rick and Stewart both had juicy booties. And I think that's just enough to throw off their balance. Ben Wallace walks because Ben was just straight out strong.
Yeah. He wore headbands on his arm.
He was like 7% body fat at one point or something like that.
He was in tip top condition. Now Rick Mahorn at the time we see fat Rick today, but in his prime he was pretty lean too, but not like Ben Wallace.
I love it.
What?
Who do you think walks out?
I've Ben Wallace.
It's Ben Wallace.
Ben or Rick. Yeah, what
No
was
love for. I mean, Stu's got the length.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's the one thing Stu
He would
has
have
over
the-
those guys.
yeah, he
is
would
he's
have
got
the
the
size.
his arms are long.
I thought how tall was Rick Mahorn?
Rick Mahorn's
like-
6'10".
Yeah, about 7
Yeah,
foot.
he got length
I
too.
think Isaiah Stewart has longer arms though.
No, I don't think so.
Ben Wallace was listed at 6'9", which means he was 6'8".
Stu was strong, but he's like thinner and wiry. You know what I'm saying? I think Rick
Mahorn's.
If I'm power ranking a 3 in a fist fight, I'm going Ben, Rick, Stu, and nothing. That's nothing against Stu. I just think they're bigger, badder guys.
Well, you know what? Stu is in a different era.
Yes.
Where everybody's a little bit nicer. And the philosophy in the 80s, 90s is if you're going to get in the fight, fight to kill. Don't hold back.
Yeah.
No smiling. I think Stewart may get off to a rough start because we're nicer today.
Yes.
We sweet. We don't want to piss anybody off.
I watched a
Rick
clip
Mahorn's
today.
wingspan is 7'1". Isaiah Stewart's is 7'4 3/4.
Wow.
I told you, dude. He's got long ass arms.
Tape measures are accurate back then.
Yeah, you know that's the one thing that changes over time. Units of measurement, they always
Wingspan
change.
also includes your shoulder though too.
Yeah, I mean that.
Talking about the arms though.
Eazy, what's your wingspan?
I don't know.
I remember
7.
4'2".
4'2". Yeah.
No, but I will give this man credit. He fought a guy that we all know and love.
Warren Sapp. Oh,
Huh?
Stick. Yeah.
Stick. And here's Stick's quote to me before he fought Eazy. You know, I really don't want to hurt the kid.
Yeah.
Because he may not be the same.
We placed bets on that.
Huh? Yeah.
You
We
placed
did make
bets
bet.
on
I went
that.
bet on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I tried telling him it's different.
Mm-hmm.
But of course, if it was straight out boxing, he would have won.
Nah, I still would have won.
I'm just telling you what I was told.
Maybe. Oh, that's what for
should
sure what
box
he
him.
was saying. I'd give him a better chance in boxing. Kickboxing, I'd beat his ass for sure.
Yeah.
Without a doubt.
You should box.
You'd have a chance in boxing. I'm not punching the owner of the fucking company.
He can take a punch.
You should box.
But you know what? If I was fighting Eazy and kicking his ass, I could never finish him off because his cheeks are so cute. I would just look at him and say, I can't do it. he looked like a baby seal sometimes.
I'm Jigglypuff over here.
If they had baby seals in Africa. That's what we'll look. You couldn't hurt that.
What would Spinny's animal be? What's his spirit animal? I say a panda.
Panda? Pandas are cool.
He could be a panda.
I feel like I'm more of a grizzly bear than panda.
You know, I'm afraid of Spinny now, man. I be seeing those videos of him in the gym.
Yeah.
I'm hitting the gym hard, Terry.
Yeah, I see that. I thought he was just a big fat blob. And then I'm like, maybe he's not.
Yep.
Not no more.
Chiseling down a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
We can be your security.
I need security too, because I'm really old. Like, I can't kick anybody's ass.
Oh, we got you.
Yeah.
I dive in front of
We
him.
got you.
But you know when somebody say, hey, man, I'll beat your ass to a pulp. And you know what I say? Yep.
You sure would. Terry,
no
did
defense.
you see D-Mac bought a wrestling gym?
No. All kinds of stuff was going on here.
It's in Centerline, like over by me. He bought a wrestling academy. So like,
might pull up.
Yeah.
Are you going over?
You could be our manager.
Yeah, he could be.
I
the
could,
shit talker.
Because I can talk shit.
Yes. Yeah, you're our Paul Heyman.
What was our Paul Heyman or what was Bret Hart's? They had a talker
There
too.
was,
Jimmy Hart.
Bobby the Brain Heenan.
Okay.
What are they, black managers?
Yeah, I think his name was Terry actually. He was a GM of SmackDown for a minute.
Oh, Teddy, right?
Teddy, yeah.
Teddy.
I need a name
What was his
though,
last
man.
name?
I just can't go in there.
The
as Terry
Growler.
Foster.
The Growler.
I'll take it. The Growler.
T. Foster Growler.
Foster Growler.
Spinny the Panda and Eazy the Seal.
I want to be the panda. I want to be so good. Panda, what are we, fucking Animal Planet?
An anime
You're a
cartoon.
Sportsman.
Sportsman.
That's what Terry. That was his wrestler name. Is
That's a fallen dream of mine as a child.
Can we get a
Sportsman.
rematch with you and Stick?
Yeah, all day,
dude.
Hey, I told Stick under 2 minutes. Got him a minute 23.
There you go.
That's without trying, by the way.
You know what he said? He said, "I really like the kid. You know, I don't want to hurt him."
I tried to. Well, that's the thing too. Is like, and I'm right now, like today, not in shape. I was barely shaped then, but like a bar fight is so much different than like people who like trained before. You know what I'm saying? It's just way, way, way different.
Yeah.
Those
are killers.
Yeah,
The real
bar,
deal killer.
bar fight, man. You can take a beer mug and knock somebody out.
For sure. And then it gets
What's
people
the
like,
craziest
you
bar
know,
fight you were ever in, Terry?
I have never
Terry,
been.
yeah,
You've never been in a bar fight?
I don't fight, man.
What do you mean?
I think the last fight I had was in middle school.
Yeah.
Did you win?
Didn't you have to fight some
I
Bulls
did.
reporters?
Huh? Oh God, you're right. I fought this dude named Les Grobstein in Chicago Stadium because this dude back then to send our stories we have to do it with the phone lines, and so then Les Grobstein worked for a radio station. He took my phone and started doing this stand-up.
you told us this.
Right. And then I just heard this dude go 3, 2, 1, 0. The Chicago Bulls defeated. And I said, dude, I'm gonna need that phone in like 15 seconds. He said, well, I don't see your name on it. I said, well, it was in front of me, and there's other phones there. So he didn't give. He was trying to do a stand up. I pulled the plug out and put it in my computer, and he got pissed. He called me all kinds of names. He said, let's go out into the parking lot. I said, so I can beat your ass. I said, dude, you know I'm on deadline. We're all on deadline. Nobody's gonna fight now. So Drew Boudini Sharp, while I'm arguing with this guy, I kind of turned away, and then I just saw the spray of Coca-Cola fly past me. Drew drenched him with a whole thing of Coke. And I turned around and looked at Drew, and he had a full Coke in his hand. I said, dude, how did you just spray him with a Coke and you got a full Coke in your hand? He said, well, I was going to get him again. So then we kind of scuffled a little bit. Security came in, and then the Chicago Tribune wrote a story about the bad boy Piston writers and, wanting to fight Les Grobstein, and they quoted him, of course, because he was the local guy.
Yeah.
That he was going to beat my ass, and we're soft in Detroit.
Yeah.
I've had so many bad experiences in Chicago, man.
I heard. I think Vinny Goodwill was saying the same thing, like coming from Detroit and then reporting there in Chicago. They just never. They all hated him.
I got cussed out by the sweet little old lady at the desk to go into the Bulls practice facility.
What happened?
Huh?
What happened?
I just went in. I said, "Hello, I'm here for the Bulls practice." And she, "You can't go to practice." I said, "Well, I'm not going to watch the practice, but they have availability." Because I told her I was from Detroit, and she got all pissed at me.
That's where you messed up.
We don't like Detroit. You guys are assholes. I'm like, how?
What did I do? Yeah.
I didn't do anything to you. So she didn't want to let me in. So the PR guy comes and say, look, settle down. We want all types of publicity from the national media, Chicago media, and even Detroit. So they let me in. So, yeah, but, I mean, all of them jump bad on you.
Chicago.
Didn't you box Rob Parker or something?
I did. I fought Rob Parker. Now, if you talk to Rob Parker says he won the fight, that he got robbed. But we fought at the Palace. And
for charity?
Huh?
Was it for charity? Or?
No.
No, we just fought. It was part of a thing. But the thing, they gave us these gloves that were like spinning. They were bigger than your head, man. I couldn't even get those things. But after 2 rounds, Emmanuel Stewart was my
cornerman.
He was my guy. He was my corner man. And then after 2 rounds, he said, "All right, dude, you proved your point. So just relax in the 3rd round," because I was like tired. And then in typical fashion, I pummeled this dude. Pummeled him. Like his headgear, we had to fight with his headgear fell out. He almost fell to the ground.
Oh, damn.
And then this asshole in this column the next day said, I got robbed.
If you say you got robbed, you admit you lost.
Does that. And you know who bought it? Remember Corey?
Yes.
With the K who used to work it?
Yeah.
He bought it. Said,
that's his boy. That's his mentor.
I heard you lost to Rob. I said, dude, get out of here. So Corey was doing stuff with the Pistons. I said, somebody with the Pistons has the video. Get it, and then come to me and said that Rob beat me. I pummeled him.
Did they find the video or no?
Huh?
Did they find the video?
Nah, it's probably.
Who else was there?
There was like 18,000 people there.
Oh damn.
Yeah, it was a big crowd.
Wow. Oh damn. Well, there's witnesses.
Yeah, and there's witnesses. If anybody was at the Palace when I fought Rob Parker, tell these brothers the truth.
Yeah, let's see. Somebody in the chat had to have been there.
I feel like if you and Drew had smartphones back in the day, you guys would got canceled traveling.
Oh my God, we got into so much trouble. But it was just like fun stuff.
Yeah.
We almost got kicked out of a hotel in it was San Antonio, because we got into an argument with the Detroit Lions. And at that time the Lions were like 8-4. So the only thing, you thought I was rough on the Lions, Drew was rougher. So all I wanted him to say, we were talking about the Lions, said, Drew, I know it's a bullshit organization, but at least say this team is solid. He wouldn't even say that. So we started wrestling and stuff. We made too much noise. Somebody called security, and they knocked on the door.
He said he's pacifist. Terry's fighting everybody.
That's true.
Yeah.
I was probably wrong on that one. All right, we got to pay some bills, Smitty. We're well over it.
Yeah, let's just do.
We got 4 to knock out.
Yeah.
How you want to do it?
Then we're good.
Yeah, then we're good.
2 and 2.
Yep.
All right, let me tell you about Mad Packs. Spenmo Rax here to talk to you about Mad Packs. Mad Packs is the hottest new cannabis brand, and they're partnering with Woodward Sports. You know what that means? I'm going to be feeling good all summer long. Mad Packs is going to take your game to the next level. High-low, getting you high for the low. Delivering top-tier quality at unbeatable prices. Boom Shakalaka. Boom Shakalaka is a live resin-infused tarantula. This one's the bomb. Blizzard Packs, THCA, Moon Rocks, they hit like a blizzard. Coming to select retailers in May 2025. Stay tuned for Woodward Sports Network for all the latest updates. And I'll tell you about Lady Jane's. Lady Jane's haircuts for men. Walk in anytime, sit down, relax, get an award-winning haircut from one of our lovely, talented stylists. You can get a hot leather neck shave, scalp massage, hot towel treatment, all that good stuff. Lady Jane's haircuts for men, open 7 days a week. Walk-ins are always welcome. It's wicked awesome.
The bats are hot, and the weather is getting hotter. Summertime in the D with Detroit's big hitters, Woodward Sports. Big injuries, big news. Twice a week, Dr. Jeff Pierce from Michigan Sports and Spine joins Woodward Sports Network for the Injury Insider Report. Big D Energy Tuesdays at noon, and Ermanni and Edwards with Maz Thursdays at 3:30. Get expert analysis and in-depth breakdowns on the latest sports injuries from the man trusted by top athletes in the community, like D-Mac. Whether it's the Lions, Pistons, Tigers, or Red Wings, Dr. Pierce talks us through it all. Don't miss the Injury Insider Report with Dr. Jeff Pierce, your go-to source for understanding the impact of injuries on the games and players we love. Only on Woodward Sports Network. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to MichiganSportsandSpine.com to see if Dr. Jeff Pierce can help you.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, it's wicked awesome.
A ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports.
Caesars Sportsbook, the official sportsbook of Woodward Sports. Make sure you use that promo code Woodward1000 and scan that QR code above my head to get your first bet up to $1,000 back in bonus bets if it doesn't hit. Caesars Sportsbook, the official sportsbook of Woodward Sports.
Nasty T sends super chat. He says, I just had a dumbass Lions fan say Jack Campbell's terrible linebacker and that he's not a true linebacker. That's a bad take.
That is a bad take.
What is he if he's not a linebacker?
Yeah.
And by the way, we've had him play multiple positions.
Serial killer?
Probably, yeah, for sure.
That high on him like other people are, but he can play.
Yeah, for sure. I think he's good. I don't know if he's like all pro or anything like that, but I think next year he could be considered a top 10 guy.
Right. What do you make of the Jameson Williams stuff, Terry? About the
Yeah, did you see that? Brad was kind of non-committal.
I know they're going to give him the 5th year, but I would still roll with him. I don't like what I'm hearing. I don't think they're going to draft Matthew to replace him.
I agree.
They bring a whole bunch of people in. And sometimes they bring people and we never know who they are. This time they happen to let this leak out. And maybe they're just trying to send a message to J-Mo. No more clowning. Let's be serious. Let's be professional. But I think the bottom line is he's reached that age where he's ready to be a very good player.
Yeah.
And here's the dangerous thing. You let him go. There's 3 types of players in the NFL. There's players who can't play. There's players who are good players, and then there's players that are difference makers or they're playmakers. J-Mo is a difference maker. He's a playmaker, and you need guys like that on your team. So I wouldn't give up on him.
I think it's 2 years before it's even a conversation for real, to be honest with you.
He was solid last year.
Yeah.
Just because he had 1,000 yards. I'm not that impressed with it.
Yeah,
but
I'm with you on that.
What I'm impressed is his speed. Speed kills, man.
Yeah.
See,
you can't teach it.
No, you cannot. See, I'm an old dude. When I first started covering football, the teams I feared were these big hunking guys.
Yeah.
Like, and
teams that
so,
get up
man.
the bus, you're like, oh,
right.
shit. Yeah.
Then as it progressed, it was like the team with the speed are the ones that you fear now.
Yeah.
Or at least for the last,
I think it's almost like every sport like that now, too. Because you can't touch anybody no more.
No, you can't. But they're on turf now. They're not playing in the mud as much. If you don't have speed, man, you done.
Yeah, I think, and that's why I think with the new offense too, with the new offense coordinator, I don't think they'll be as consistent as they were last year in terms of like, top 3 this, top 3 that. But I think they'll be dangerous at any given moment because of guys like J-Mo, because of guys like Jameer.
Right. And you know what? With new offensive coordinator, maybe they're smarter in key situations. Let's not forget, I know Ben Johnson did a great job.
Yes.
But all I know is they're beating the Washington Commanders. It's 3rd and 1, empty backfield.
Yeah.
And you're clowning them in the running game. You don't have to pass. You don't have to run in that situation. But have a running back and show that
threat.
you might run, so then they're like guessing. Then you have an empty backfield, like, all right, we know the pass is coming. I thought that was stupid. But Ben Johnson did stuff like that. He had Penei Sewell passing in goofy situations.
Jameson Williams passing.
Right.
Yeah.
I think he read his press clippings, and he was like, my stuff don't stink.
Yeah.
I can do anything I want. I can do what I want. I got the squad here, so I can clown and act. So I'm not saying good riddance, but he had flaws in his game.
Are you worried about him in Chicago?
Yeah, how you gonna do in Chicago?
No. I'm not worried about him. Maybe 5 years down the road, if he lasts that long, I think there was some flaws in his game. We don't know if he can be a head coach. We don't know if he can motivate. No.
Okay. That's fair.
And the Lions' offense was good. Maybe not as good, but it was still good before you took over.
What about the Vikings? Looking at these NFC North teams, they don't have a quarterback yet. They sound kind of non-committal to J.J. McCarthy.
Two knee surgeries.
Yeah.
No experience.
Yeah, I know.
At the NFL level.
You think they're going to be a one-year wonder?
Yeah, they had their year too. I think all of these teams will be solid. I remember I was talking to people, and I thought over the next 5 to 6 years that the teams that you're going to have to worry about, the Lions and the Bears. I thought the Bears would finally, because they had so much draft capital and so much cap space, that they would get their stuff together and challenge the Lions to be the teams in that division.
Yeah.
Minnesota, I don't know, man. But, are they going to stick with J.J. McCarthy? But they still, Aaron Rodgers is still snooping around. He hasn't signed with Pittsburgh.
He's not.
So something's going on there.
He was talking today. I don't know if you heard that. He talked about his conversation with it. We were going to play it, but he had a conversation with AG. And AG asked him, like, are you ready to play? Like, are you committed to football?
Mm-hmm.
And he said, I'm still interested. And right away, AG's answer was, yeah, we're going to move on from you then.
And Aaron Rodgers was upset because they made him fly in.
Yeah.
He's a diva.
He's a piece of work, but let me say this. If AG had had a conversation with him and said, hey, we're going to move on, you know what Aaron Rodgers would be saying, screaming on Pat McAfee? Oh, they didn't have the guts or the balls. They weren't ballsy. They weren't men and tell me face to face. I'm upset. Arr, arr.
Yeah.
You couldn't win. You can't win with this guy.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing, too, and that's my favorite part, because I just knowing AG from his time here at the media, I guess Aaron was saying, like, well, AG said, I don't want me in front of the room speaking, and then guys looking back at you. And then Aaron Rodgers was like, well, you don't know me. I'm not, I don't like that. And AG was like, you don't know me. I was like, I can see, the tension getting there.
I could tell.
The former defensive player. He never going to like a quarterback.
Yeah, no. I knew they were not going to get along. I mean,
Did you guys
that's
order
just.
pizza?
I'm tired of Aaron Rodgers, but I'll say this. I think I understand him a little more because I watched his documentary.
You watched that?
Yeah, I watched that. And
was it good?
It was really good. He went to the White Lotus and was like,
that's an actual thing?
That's a real place?
Yeah. No, it's not.
Oh, okay.
But
okay.
it was White Lotus.
Yeah, great show.
Yeah.
Where he went out and was like sniffing smoke and meditating and doing all kinds of stuff and then trying to explain himself. So I sort of understood him a little bit.
Okay.
But he's still a little weird dude.
I'm gonna have to watch that then.
Yeah.
Did you watch the White Lotus, like the show?
I do.
Who had the best rack in the series?
Rack?
Yeah.
Yeah. Who had the best rack?
What? Well, the best rack was somebody I wouldn't mess with.
Who?
It was the black chick.
Which one?
The one where her son came to visit.
Oh yeah.
That's
your favorite rack in the series?
The masseuse.
That's disgusting.
She had some heavies too.
You're gross. She's beautiful though. She's really pretty.
No, she's not.
What?
But she's gorgeous. No, you talk the old lady?
The masseuse.
The masseuse.
The masseuse.
Yeah.
You think she's beautiful?
Yeah.
I mean, she's not ugly, but she's
very pretty.
She had some heavies.
I never once looked at her heavies. They look like the fat kind of heavies. They're just there from the.
All right, here's
my favorite was the Italian.
Let's go around the room. Do you know what we're talking about?
He's not old enough.
Oh, he's not old enough. The telltale if a woman is beautiful now, would you hit it?
Yeah?
Yeah.
I mean, I'd hit some women that aren't beautiful.
Yeah. Come on.
I would not.
We all have.
I would pass on that.
Yeah.
You would wrestle her for sure.
No, but I would wrestle the movie star.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And the
no racks on any of those girls. Those skinny white girls.
And the wife from season 2.
Oh, the mom?
The mom.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'd wrestle her.
Sweetie.
There's a few chicks I'd wrestle on the
you
White
mean
Lotus.
what's her name? Dario?
Daddario, that's season 1. Daddario for sure would wrestle Daddario.
Well, what season are you talking about?
Season 2. The wife that the Asian dude bangs at the end to get back at his wife.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
The redhead.
She got tits.
I didn't say she had tits. I'd say I'd fuck her.
I'm sorry.
Well, that'll do it for
you say she's beautiful, but she doesn't have the best boobs on the show.
Yeah, I was asking for racks, not who's pretty.
Racks. We're talking about breasts, right?
Yeah, racks on racks on racks.
I mean, they were huge, dude.
They were big.
I had to run it back.
The rest of the women had little teeny,
See, but I'm not it's not a size thing for me. I like the sculpt, like a perfect,
proportionate.
Yeah,
I mean, the proportions.
There you go.
Sydney Sweeney's got some nice tits.
The best rack I've
She'd win, but
seen,
we didn't get to see him.
in a while, and the woman was kind of ugly.
Yeah,
it was on. Of course, I shouldn't bring up a show that I can't remember the name, but it was not White Lotus. What's the medieval one? Not medieval, but it's
Game of Thrones.
No, set in England.
Okay.
Oh,
you might know.
Bridgerton.
That's right up his alley.
I haven't watched that.
The little girl who.
That's a good girl. Sure.
No, the little girl that was writing, who was writing the pamphlet that everybody hated. if you notice,
She was a journalist too, huh?
she was a journalist,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But her tits, if you look, they look like they were breathing.
Oh,
they would go up and down, up and down. They look like they had a mind of their own.
there we go. Well,
And you know what? I'm not making this up. They did.
they did. Hey, Terry, we appreciate you so much. It is always a pleasure.
You know, I always like coming on your show.
Yeah.
The question is, will my wife let me out the house to come here this late?
That's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, because she wants, when she comes home from work, she wants to cuddle with her little tea-bear. You know how that is.
Are you going to any of the playoff games? Pistons playoff games?
I'm going to go to game 4.
Nice. Very cool.
Me, you, Spinny, and Maz, I go to a gentleman's club for a game.
Oh, yeah.
For a game.
Players.
Like we're there for the game, but we'll just be in the atmosphere.
Well, yeah, we're there. We're going to watch. You just got to tell the wife we're watching a game at a bar.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
She lets me do that.
I need that.
That would be a great time. That'll do it for us today. Appreciate you all tapping in. For Terrence Reginald Foster, Esquire III, for Eazy, for Nick, for Chris, I am Spencer with the Heavyweights. We'll catch you guys tomorrow. Peace. Terry, thank you.
Thank you. It was my pleasure.